divorce. When do you know when it's over? When do you got to say he's for the streets? Or when do you say she's for the streets? Hey, yo, this is that dude named Dave, and we are back here. We took a week off, but we're back with Jump Off Live here with the crew here. We'll go round by round here to get everybody's opinion on this crazy topic that is ravaging not just United States, but in the entire world here. Divorce, 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 divorce. Everybody's getting it, baby. Everybody's doing it. So let's get Team Jump Off on here now. We got my man next to me, Johnny Daniels. What's going on, my man?
What up? What up, that dude? Here we are again. Back at it on hump day. Getting ready to get you over the hump, man. I'm excited, man. Glad to be here, y'all. What's up, everybody in the chat?
Glad to have you back. Glad to have you back, John. Right below me, JD. What's popping, my man?
Not much, man. Not much. It was weird having a week off, but we back and ready to jump into this topic.
No doubt, no doubt. And we got my man here with the Men's Integrated Network, Myk E. What's popping, my man?
What's going on, man? Nothing much. Just trying to drink my coffee and get over this thing.
He needs coffee
tired.
here. He's tired. That's what's up. Let's do a little house cleaning here. So, like I always say every week now, we need that HBO special, people. That help a brother out. Click on like, subscribe, click on that bell notification because we need that YouTube to help us with the algorithm here so we can get everybody checking out here with Jump Off Live because that's why y'all here for. Help a brother out. Click like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Also, too, want to send a shout out to one of our members of the crew here, Dr. Zoe Stalin. She's not able to make it tonight. She is dealing with a lot here. She's in the Bible Belt in North Carolina, if you guys don't know. And she is dealing with a lot with COVID right now. She has patients up the wahoo that are in the ICU, and she already knows that people ain't gonna make it. So I just want to send this little friendly reminder out that if you ain't even getting y'all vax, at least mask the hell up, y'all, because y'all ain't gonna make it if you catch it. She's told me on the phone less than an hour ago. The people in the ICU ain't coming out. Just remember that if you go in there, there's a good chance you ain't gonna come back home. So just shout out to everybody, just trying to keep everybody safe. And it's just crazy out here in the streets, right? So we just gotta play it right. So let's get into this here. Oh, JD, you got something, JD?
Yep.
What you got?
We're in a missing man formation tonight. Just want to shout out to Jeff, who's in the chat watching. What's up, the world? What's up? Hopefully you be back on with us sometime in the near future.
That's right. Yeah, I see Jeff in the chat there. Yo, what's poppin', man? Blacksmith, how you doing over there, man? So let's talk about this topic here about divorce. And why did this come up here? Well, we were gonna talk about this last week, but there was a funny article, but then it turned serious, and now it's gotten super messy. The divorce talk comes from Dell Curry and Sonya Curry. If you don't know who they are the parents of Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history, is currently still playing right now. And if you don't know about Dell was a bad ball player in his damn self. He may have been all off the bench, but dude collided three. And there's a reason why Steph is one of the greatest, if not the greatest shooter of all time because of his dad. And so I'm going to put the article on the screen here so everybody can check this out here. So we're talking about Dell and Sonya Curry, been married for 33 years, and they decided to call it quits here. So give me 1 second here while I pull this on the screen here. Let me do this here. And all right, fellas. So here it is here. I got the article on the screen here, and this is coming from People Magazine. I'm just going to do an overview, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about this here from Team Jump Off here. That, Sonya and Dell Curry called it quits. Sonya is 55 years old, who filed for divorce in North Carolina in June, and they've been together since 1988, and they also share another daughter, Sidell, as long as another son named Steph, who also plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Dell, as we see here, also is 58. Sidell's exploring a trial separation the past year, and so obviously that didn't work out. And so now, after 33 years, they've called it quits and filed for divorce. And now it's getting very, very messy here. I'm showing the pictures on the screen here. We see Sonya, we see Dell. They seem like they was a very, very happy, good-looking couple. And we can see here how Dell played in the NBA from 86 to 2002 with the Jazz, Cavaliers, Bucks, and the Toronto Raptors. So, fellas, I'll just stop it right here for my little overview. We'll get back to the article in a second here. I want to start with my man John, who's above me here. What are your thoughts on Dell and Sonya Curry and this little messiness right now?
Well, Sounds like some kind of predicament here we got going on between those two. First of all, I want to say that the separation of the unity, two people who came together in holy matrimony, there's nothing positive or nothing good about the breaking of that union in its initial phase. God bless them. I hope they're both able to recover. It sounds like they already both are recovering. From my understanding, from my research and due diligence, it sounds like both of them already has a boo. From what we read, and hopefully everything we've been reading about them is actually true. But man, it's unfortunate that we know about it, because divorce happens all the time. It happens all the time, especially in the world of celebrities and entertainers. And unfortunately, because they're in the limelight, even if they're retired, the media gets wind of this, and then the whole world knows your business. Whatever happened to privacy, but it's definitely a rough situation. Man, they said she filed for divorce against him, right?
That's correct. She filed. They went through a trial separation first over the other year. That was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
That just from an article, and now that she has filed for divorce, so she's the one that put the papers in motion.
Okay, and then I hear like shortly thereafter she was spotted with ex-NFL player, her having a boo or whatever, but she separated from him because apparently he had an ongoing relationship or relationships, right? But she quickly rebounded.
We're gonna get into that, but let's keep it a buck. Dell Curry is a light-skinned brother from the 80s in the NBA. He was getting it in. Look at his hair. Come on, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't care. This is not about colorism. A light-skinned brother in the NBA in the 80s and 90s. He was in love with every town that he played in.
So you saying that's a prerequisite? The fact that he's a light-skinned brother in the NBA, he automatically was getting it in, being married.
Hey John, if you was light-skinned in the NBA, wouldn't you be getting it in?
I don't know what it's like to be light skinned. You know what I'm saying? The most light skinned you'll see me is
I'm being funny, right
now with all this light on me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm being funny, but think about it though. He's 6'4" in the NBA for 15 years.
High value man, right?
Look, man, it's not about the light skin. Just remove that part. He's in the NBA. I mean, come on, Bobo is getting an Instagram model, and then so you don't think Del Curry's not gonna get Bobo got that Instagram model, and he dumped her, and then I guess took her back or something like that. So
let's go to Myk. Yeah, let's get your opinion on Dell and Sonya, Myk. Since we jumped in.
Tumbo didn't have no problems either, I'm sure.
Yeah, Matumbo didn't get it. I'm sure.
Look, guys, I don't.
He's like, no.
Look, I don't want to make this about colorism, but if you black and you over 6 feet tall and you light skinned, I'm just saying.
I was 2 for 3. 2 for 3.
Hey man,
my shirt is light skinned.
Hey, Mikey, let's get your opinion, Mikey, on Dell and Sonya here. Before we dive, the stuff we're going to talk about, we'll get into later in the show here. But let me get your opinion, Mike, on Dell and Sonya right now, man.
Well, I mean, it was meant to happen. The kids are out. The kids are making their money already. Most divorces in later ages of people, and once the kids are out of the house, anyways, right? So they're well-to-do. She probably just sucked in all that stuff like she had that she knew he was probably cheating on her all throughout those years, and finally now she feels that she's free. But the thing though is like, I mean, and I think if I'm correct, the guy that she's with right now is a millionaire, an old friend of hers, from college and something like that. So they have that, but at the same time, is if you just take it back to the whole divorce thing, the fastest growing population of divorces right now are 55 and plus. So she lands into that part, and I mean, look, all this. If you just go by statistics, that was meant to happen. I mean, we all know that any celebrity relationships in the public eye is meant to end in its doom. Let's just look celebrities and not even just players. The only couple that's been remained with each other for a long period of time that is in the limelight is Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, and they never got married. They never got married, but he accepts that he's the father of her kids. So I mean, it was a recipe for disaster. You know, he's still an announcer right now, right? He's an NBA announcer as well still right now. So it's just because he's out of the limelight and not playing the game no more, he's still around those hunter and gatherer women from Instagram.
And Myk, let me add, just because he's not like that, his son is still Steph Curry and he goes to every game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So he started off his conversation with, "That's my boy right there," in case you didn't know. That's my boy. And I'm like,
"That's my boy." He can be like, "I gave him his shot." Don't y'all remember me back in '88? I'm still spending money since '88, like Jay-Z would say. JD.
See how light-skinned he is? That came from me.
JD, I gotta hear what you gotta say about Dell and Sonya right now.
I mean, it's sad to see a marriage, dissolve regardless of who it is, man. I'm sure that they spent many years together happy and probably spent some years together unhappy and separated, man. Like, there's so much that goes on when you have you're a high profile family that you can't necessarily be exactly who you want to be. I feel that, if you're that profile, they probably stayed together longer than they would have if they weren't at the level of financial and celebrity that they are. So it sucks for them, but if they're happier apart, it's for the best. At the end of the day, if you know that you aren't happy with the person that you're with, you need to do whatever you can to separate from that person. It's not worth risking your health mentally or physically to stay with someone who does not make you happy.
I hear that totally, JD. So now that they're getting let me backtrack here. We all stated that they probably stayed together longer than they probably gonna be together. 33 years is a long time, people. I mean, come on, NBA, a ball player staying with his woman that long since college when they met at 19 years old. I think they was playing with house money for the last 10 years, because most, like Myk said, most relationships like that don't last long. I mean, a Hollywood marriage is good for like 5 years. If you're lucky, 5 years is like a good 40 nowadays in Hollywood.
Wow.
Hey, am I lying?
No, you're telling the truth. Telling the truth.
So I want to get into the fact that there's been a lot of allegations going back and forth here, right? But before I get into the allegations here, when you have a divorce like this, people take sides. So obviously, we're seeing the younger son, Seth. He plays with Philly. He ain't saying nothing right now, which is pretty good. He's like, "Yo, mom's dad's getting into. I'm gonna mind my own business." What I want to get into a little bit more is the fact that Aisha and Steph Curry had taken Mama Sonya's side. And so now the whole family is kind of separated and divided because of this here. Because, I mean, think about it here. Both of them are wilding out. We'll get to details on that. But let's go to Myk first here. How do you feel about when family takes sides in something like this here? Especially, let's talk about Steph here. How do you feel about Steph Curry and his wife taking sides against their dad? And for the mom?
Well, the first thing is, number one is they have to approach themselves as they're a power couple. Like, do they see the PR? I mean, don't they hire PR people to control them? And the PR blunder that they just did is probably one of the worst things ever. The brother is doing it right by by shutting his mouth. There's already damage between the parents themselves. Damage control needs to go into place, and then all of a sudden the Steph Curry and his wife opens their mouth when they shouldn't. They're the children. They have no right to put their voice into this thing that it's about their parents. Just because they're over 18, just because they're older, this is your parents. No matter what, have your respect. Keep your mouth shut and don't add to any of this stuff. And that's just the thing. So that's so disrespectful what he did. I understand, no problem. Take your sides. Maybe Steph knows more than we do. Obviously, he's in the family. So we have to understand that he knows more. Maybe there is something that's there. But my thing is, that's still your father. How dare you disrespect him in public? You don't do that to a man. You don't do that to a man. And so obviously right there, if you look at it, I'm going to speculate, you know, because that's all I can do right now, is because his woman is putting her voice into thing because she's a rah-rah woman. He has to now side with her. So that's my problem with that. And then you did that to your father. And I'm sorry to say, Dell Curry, what is he what, late 50s, early 60s, I'm guessing?
58.
Right? So 58. So are you telling me this gentleman's last 20 years of his life, he's going to live a life saying that his son did this to him in public? Now, there's accountability for Dell Curry to be like, you know, I messed up. That's he has to own that. But in public, his son embarrassed him? I'm sorry, that's like a straight up guilt that Steph Curry is going to live for the rest of his life.
Hey, let me ask you, Myk.
Good points.
Yeah.
Would you feel that same way if Steph Curry had took the side of his father versus his mother? Would you feel that?
Yes, then he just called his mother a hoe. So he just disrespected his mother. You don't take sides in the parents. The kids nowadays really feel that they can, just because they're older, they can speak their mind about their parents. I get it. You can have your close family. Let's have a get together and talk to each other and say, hey, this is how we have to approach it. I know it's not going to look bad. It look good right now in public, but we have to either keep our mouth shut or, you know, or just step aside a little bit and let the grown folks do it. And yeah, so if Steph did that and sided with his dad, then at the very same time, I'm gonna be like, how dare you do that? Yeah. I'm not gonna side. I'm not gonna be like, you know, it's the guy's thing or the girl's thing. There's fault in both sides of this. So the question is, how deep is the fault? And it doesn't matter how deep it is. There's drama right now. The family needs to come together and still protect its name, and they didn't.
That's facts there, man. JD, how do you feel about Steph and Aisha taking Sonya mom's side?
It was, regardless of whose side, just like Myk was saying, regardless of whose side that they were taking, it wasn't a good look to do it. I feel more so that it was the celebrity in them that decided to comment on this. The thirstiness to be in the spotlight, almost a level of jealousy that their parents are in the spotlight and they aren't. Nobody cares what Steph has to say about this. Well, actually, people do care, but it's not his place to air his comments. At least that's my opinion. I don't think that he should come out there and say, you know, I'm on this side or I'm on that side. Like you said, Myk, this is about the parents. It's not a good look for you to come in and pick sides, because automatically that just adds to more speculation. And I can't imagine that the speculation is something that they want. Like celebrities all the time, and I'm going to lump a bunch of them in together, always talk about their privacy. Oh, you need to, you know, respect our privacy. I'm walking around. I don't want a photographer following me all the time. This was self-inflicted, which means this is what they wanted, which means they wanted the attention to be on them as opposed to the parents. Like that's petty and ridiculous. Keep your mouth shut. Like, honestly, I don't care. I didn't care that the parents got divorced. I don't really care what Steph had to say. All I know is if this was my parents and I was in his spot, I got nothing to say. Don't even come to me for a comment. This is a private family matter, and that's how it should have been handled.
Mm-hmm. I respect that, JD, so much there, you know, and I think Steph, I'm not gonna make any excuses for Steph. I think he got pushed to a corner because correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, I don't know if you saw it, but I think Aisha made the first comment. And then she had
even worse. That's
exactly what I said.
Yeah, she had the audacity to come out saying that, of course, that's her father-in-law. In the words that she used, the adjectives about, you know, nasty and disgusting acts and things of that nature. So, of course, Steph being Steph is going to have to ride for his wife, unfortunately, you know, in that. And I don't know about you guys. I have my own issues with Aisha anyway, you know what? That's a whole nother game.
Oh, she's been an attention seeker for a long time.
And I see,
long time.
And unfortunately, I don't want to wish bad on anybody. Am I the only one that thinks that Steph's going to be in the same situation about 15 years from now?
It wouldn't shock me, especially once they fade from the spotlight.
If you just look at how Ayesha is already acting, take away the situation right now, how she's already lusting for attention when she's a married woman, like a married woman for some years and who's a mother. And if you see the things that she says on social media and online is not the acts of a married woman. You know, the way that she craves attention and misses attention. You know, you get married for so long, you kind of feel a dull and a low in a relationship, but you go to social media looking and hawking for that. That's just a tidbit I'm going on that right now. But I just feel like Steph kind of got roped in because of his wife right now. And if he was a smart man, he should have roped his wife back in and say, look, that's Pops. We need to keep this silent right now and keep this quiet. We don't need to be putting this out there in the streets here right now. And that's what we got right now. Stephs is talking, Ayesha's talking. Now they stop talking because they know the comments come out now, but the damage has been done. You know, now the name has been sullied. Now we're going to get ready to come to NBA season. Now the fact that you comment on it, when NBA season starts up, what are we going to see? If any parent's going to be at the game, you know that's going to come up, right, fellas? We're going to see the camera on Steph, I'm on Dell or Sonya, and then, you know, have a little bit of, you know, backgrounds. Oh, here, you know, whatever's going to pop off like that. So it's not a good look that Steph took that side. I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to pull the article up here. John, do you have something to say on this before I pull the article up here?
Hey, man, I just think a lot of times, just from my perspective, a lot of celebrities, entertainers, they become far removed from natural living. You know what I'm saying? Privacy. You know, they're so used to, like, if you think about it, Steph, after every game, he has to go in front of the press, right? I mean, he's so used to having those cameras and microphones around him. Maybe he felt like he had to say something because he's used to saying something. But really, in this type of case, it's a personal matter. And sometimes those emotions, I think Jeff even said it, you know, that's the first initial reaction to speak out of emotions. And, you know, it's not until later on, after you done said and did whatever you did, and you sit down and think about it, like, damn, I might have kept my mouth shut. But also, let's not ignore the fact that it's quite possible that Steph might have had some heat against his daddy. If his daddy used to whip his butt, you know what I'm saying? That might have been his get back right there.
That ain't gonna be a good big get back, John. Hey, you know what? Let me read this part here, and I'm gonna get to JD and Myk a little bit here. It says MTO Media Takeout. Now, besides Media Takeout, like all other sources have been reporting on this as well. They're saying that a family friend of the Warrior star explained Steph has a special relationship with his mother, and so he is supporting her. Steph's relationship with his father is strained after this. He's disappointed that Dell put all their family business out there, and he doesn't believe the accusations against his mother.
He's mad that he put all this stuff out there, and then Steph got to comment and add his 2%. Like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. That's like, okay, I know this is what an insider is saying, so I can't attribute this directly to Steph saying it, but that's such a thirsty way of thinking. Like, it's an attention-seeking way of thinking, and there's so many people out there who just can't keep their mouth shut, man. Like I said before, they can't. Everything has to be a story, and they have to be a part of everything. And I don't know exactly what part of his brand is being improved by doing this. Like, at a certain point, you have to think about your brand, and you have to think about who you stand for. I think the best thing to do was to come out with a statement and say, like, man, I hope that everyone can respect me and my family's wishes during this time and leave us in private. Like, and could have left it at that, and that would have made the story die. But no, you keeping it alive right now, bro. And you can't talk about how you don't like, or you're siding with one person and think that the story is just now going to get swept under the rug. That's the exact opposite of what's going to happen. And it's, like I said, attention seeking. That's all it is. Yeah. And it's sad that with his parents going through this tough moment and this tough situation, that Steph is, and his wife first and foremost, but Steph as well, is trying to steal the shine. Like, took it as an opportunity to say, oh, let me get the spotlight on me. Let me share what I think about it, because people care about what I think.
Wow.
Oh, it's sad.
Hey, isn't it? It's a strong possibility that Steph Curry, as I'm looking at this picture here of Steph, his mom, and his dad, Steph probably was breastfed coming up. He was probably more than likely. I'm willing to bet top dollar that Steph Curry was breastfed. And when you breastfed by your mother coming up, you know that Similac is in his body. It
hit differently, right, John?
It hit differently, right? So he got to take his mama's side. You know, even if he didn't want to, something inside of him would be pulling him towards his mama because she breastfed. Let's not ignore that fact, guys. It's always something else that you got to consider. And that's I'm over here. I'm looking at this picture, and that's what I saw. I just wanted to share that real quick, Dave, before you go on to the next.
No. Hey, I appreciate you, John, for bringing that out, man. That could be real. Let's take everything off the table here. What if he was breastfed to like he's 8 years old?
Yeah.
Like when we saw videos of him shooting threes at the Charlotte Hornets stadium with his daddy, wearing the oversized, big NBA Charlotte Hornets jersey with his dad, on the back on there. He could have had a breast session a few minutes before that.
You guys are wrong.
I ain't say that.
Breast
about 8
session.
Look, that may be where his superpower 3-pointers come from too. This thing go deep, man. You don't become a superstar from eating Gerber.
A lot of practice.
That's my problem, huh?
See, I was a breastfed, so I didn't play basketball.
So I'm going to try to play the voice of reason here for some reason. I'm going to be the good one right now for some reason.
Mikey's the good one right now. Oh snap!
Okay, so let's remove the titty feeding and all that stuff. But
let's see what Mike gonna say.
But I mean, Dell was an NBA player, so he was always traveling. So because he's always traveling, Steph was really brought up by his mother.
True.
His mother raised him. Dell wasn't there for the times that Steph needed to be scolded.
Except for home games.
Except for home games. But remember, this is the 80s. This is Coke NBA back in the days.
Hey, the cocaine 80s, baby. You're right about that.
Cocaine NBA back in the days. Remember those stories and with the Bulls and everything where Michael Jordan said he would walk, he would walk into cocaine was everywhere. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. But I mean, the thing though is his mom raised him. So whether he became a good basketball player because Dell wanted this into his kids, I mean, his kids were exposed to basketball, but still Steph was raised by a woman. Now, like I said, a woman can raise a child, but a woman cannot raise a man. There's still things that a man needs to be full-time in front of his kids.
Oh,
to be able
wait, Mike. Nice Mike went out the window.
Uh-oh.
No, what I'm saying is it is true. I'm sorry. There's things. Women are there for nurturing, for rearing. Men are for their. I mean, there's studies that shows that when the way men raise their kids with roughhousing, that shows kids to be able to elevate themselves because it's a different type of raising that kids need to have. So I'm sorry to say, it does show for a fact that men who's not active in their child's life will cause some problems with the kid. So there's no reason, there's no wonder that Steph sided with his mother because he was raised by his mother, not his father. His father was not there full time. Because we can say that because he played in the NBA and there was a lot of travel around that time.
Yeah, to go.
So, and around the 80s, they didn't travel by plane; they traveled by bus. So, you have to think about logistics and how things were happening back in the days.
And then, then by the time Dell was playing, they were flying commercial, not like first class. Like they were having the jacked up knees in the back and row 28 too. They didn't have like the good planes until like the late 90s, early 2000s when the new owners start coming in and start spending money. So you're right. There was buses in the 80s. There was coach flights, longer trips, stuff being direct, having their own planes to come straight in. You're waiting at the terminal, so a lot of that goes in. So hey, Mike, you're right about that. I didn't think about that aspect of it.
I mean, we have to look at like how it is back in the days. The problem is a lot of people nowadays judge people automatically without understanding that you didn't live around that time. We have to look at every single aspect of how things were occurring around that time. And so this is where it is. You have, you have Steph's wife jumping in. Like, woman, you weren't there. You weren't there during this whole time. You don't know what made this happen, why this relationship ended. And Steph going into this whole thing where he's siding with his mom, my question in that is this: you're just going to blame your dad for bringing out the dirty laundry? Wasn't your mom hooking up with other guys too, and now is living in with somebody else now? And she's living in with a guy that she knew from back in the days from school, who's also a multi-millionaire as well. I'm sorry, that dude was put in the friend zone back in the days because Dell Curry was able to close a deal with Steph's mom, and that dude is just trying to get what he didn't get back in the days.
Let's get to before we get to that point here. I want that's the messy juiciness that we're going to talk about here. But before that, we would do that here. For the people in the chat, we love y'all. So take a little pause here for the cause here. We need you to click like and subscribe and click on that bell notification. We need some help, people. We see people here. I see more people watching than likes. So like and subscribe. We need y'all. Y'all checking us out. Y'all know what to do. I don't want to sound like a broken record. Y'all know this ain't no echo chamber. Y'all love the show. Come on, man. Take a few seconds here.
We love y'all.
All right. Yeah, let's get this. We'll go get this back on track here, But shout out to everybody track. Also, too, I want to get shout out to the ladies. If y'all want to cam up and be on the future shows, hey, shoot us some info. Y'all can come on tonight's show if y'all want to for future shows. This invitation only for the ladies only. We're looking for more female panelists who want to get on these discussions here because y'all know y'all want to talk about this here, So let's keep it moving here with this Steph Curry situation here. I want to talk about the allegations. Now, Steph is mad that we brought up because Daddy Dell put out there that John and Myk, you both brought out that, she's with a new boo. This is a guy from college. This is a guy that's Dell also knew. He was also on the football team. He's a millionaire businessman. So she's apparently moved in with the new boo. So Dell was like, hey, wait a minute. You want me to pay alimony and you got a new dude? Nah. That's not going to work. So the reason why this got super messy, fellas, that Dell put out there that not only that she cheated, that she lied about it every time he brought it up to her. So when it goes to court, when that happens, there is no reconciliation. So the judge, depending on the state, can say no alimony if the person is at fault for cheating and then never apologize for it, or the person never did say, hey, I forgive you in that notion. So that's why Dell came out, because you got to look at the fact that when your mama Sonya, she's rich. Her son, Steph, is the only player in NBA history that signed two $200 million contracts. From now to 2025, he's going to make $300 million. You think that mama's going to be broke when she got to ask, sons, like, can I get 10 million? Nah. So she also got money because she's married to Dell. Dell was in NBA for 15 years. On top of that, Steph for the Philadelphia 76ers got a contract, and he's in the NBA making millions. Then her new boo is also a millionaire. So I'm going to open up to the panel here. Why is she asking for alimony when she's worth millions and everybody in her family has millions, including the new boo, but she wants the ex-husband to pay? Myk, I'll go to you first.
Because she feels that she put in the work, that she helped raise these $1 million kids, that there has to be something that she can get as well. And so she feels that she put something into this, Curry family LLC or incorporated. So she feels that she deserves that. And so in the end, for me, I look at it as, was there a prenup? And if there was no prenup in place, then Dell Curry paid the F up. That's on you. But what Dell Curry is doing in this whole thing is a smart move, because for him, he needs to negotiate the less amount of money being released, because when she gets out, she's going to be okay. She does have money too, right? She's going to be able to get her money out. So he needs to be able to navigate himself to be able to make sure that she does not get her full feeling that she's entitled to, because like he said, she's already with a millionaire. But you know what? Down the road, that millionaire is going to dump her for a younger girl. We all know that's going to happen, right? She's used up. So in regards for that, he did the right move, because that's the best move to do. This is now a business move. It's no difference. Like, I'll give a quick example. When I was in the process of having to try to work my relationship out, right? My lawyer comes to me and he says, Michael, do you want me to be a pit bull or do you want me to be a chihuahua? Because I can be either or. And I said, dude, Pitbull. And so what he says, he goes, this is what we're going to have to do. We have to file first, but we won't submit. But because we file first, it's in file already. So when she files to try to make you come to Arizona, we submitted papers first. She's going to have to hire lawyers to come to Illinois. So it is a business move. So the thing goes, in the end, there's no prenup. It's his fault. Time to pay up. I'm sorry.
No prenup.
That's the law. That's the rules. That's how it works. You know, and so if you don't do prenup, you have to pay up. Plain and simple.
See, he's going to pay up. Let me just clarify. And shout out to Ashley Shaw, you know, friends of Dr. Zostal. I'm glad you can come back and check us out again. Yeah, North Carolina is a no-fault state as well. One of the things that brought up that reason why Dell brought up the cheating allegation is to bring the alimony payment down. He's going to cut the check. We all know that. He's cutting 7 figures, maybe 10, maybe 8 figures, depending on the size of their assets after all these years, right? The question is, how much will he pay? Because if, like I said, he pulls out that she's already living for new boo, some judge can, like I was watching, shout out to the legal attorney on YouTube. Dude is doing big things on YouTube. I love the legal advice he's giving, especially not just to the Black community as well. And he broke down that there are situations where that, depending on how nasty this gets, the fact that Dell did this, now that all the family might get questioned when the divorce proceedings happen. So Steph might have to get cross-examined. The younger brother get cross-examined. Aisha, everybody's going to get cross-examined. That's why Dell's doing this. And I guess the fact that Steph's upset that the message, because he's got to get involved in this. But if you're Dell, you look at your son like, look, your mama ain't right either. So why are you taking sides on this? So JD, how do you feel about this?
Man, just you mean like the court litigation side of it?
Well, what Dell's doing here, he made let me back.
I mean, it's the only
he made it messy because he wants to cut a less check. He's cutting the check. Dell made it messy because he wants to cut less of a check because she's moved on. They both moved on, but why he should cut more money? So how do you feel about that? He had to do what he had to do here. Do you agree with that?
Yes. He had to protect his own. At this point, she's coming for his. So he has to do what he needs to do in order to protect his. Like you said, we know he's going to give up a check. We know that he's going to have to pay a lot of money, but he's right now trying to mitigate the amount that he has to pay by muddying the waters a little bit. And a good lawyer will do that for you. And having that as a strategy is smart on his behalf. I mean, relationships don't always work. I think, you know, being a product of divorce that I am, it's something that you have to come to grips with. And just because we're finding out now, that doesn't mean that even during the times where you've seen them smiling together, that things weren't falling apart at those moments as well. I think a lot of times as people, we only acknowledge what we know, and we think that what we know is everything. Like I always say it all the time, like I live in a vacuum. Like I think that outside of me and my situations that I see, that people aren't talking about me, or like nobody ever mentions me unless they're in my presence. And that's not the best way to think. In this type of situation, you know, things have been falling apart for a long time, I'm sure. And this type of thing was probably well known for multiple years amongst, you know, the circles that the NBA players and stuff run around in. I mean, I'm sure this was common knowledge, and it's just now sort of leaking out to the public because it's, you know, it's going to get messy. But just speaking on divorce in general, if he's not happy, he has to do what he needs to do. And as far as protecting his assets, he needs to do what he needs to do, because she's going to come to take as much as she can. I don't even want to get into the fact whether it's deserved or not, but she's going to come, or she's going to come for it. She's going to try to get as much as she can. He needs to protect as much as he can. I think at this point, it would be best for them to try to come to some sort of settlement as opposed to letting this get messier and drag out. But I mean, they've already got everything going, and there's not a lot going on in the NBA right now, in the NBA news cycle right now. So this is kind of dominating the talk, and that's, you know, that's not really good for them. They should have waited at least till the season started for before this stuff kind of leaked out.
I hear that, JD. Great. Shout out to the chat here. Before I get back to John here, I'm just looking at everybody's comments here right now. First things first, guys. We ain't rocking with R. Kelly. Bad examples, guys. I appreciate what you're trying to put out there, you know, but hey,
Chocolate Factory.
Hey, you know what? Though we in Chicago, we don't rock with Kells no more, man. That ship is sailed. Just want to put that out there. We don't honor that man.
My mind's telling me no, but the chat's saying yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Aaliyah just dropped. They finally released Aaliyah's albums on social now, you know. So, but hey, John, what you feel about this? What you feel? Dell making it messy. Are you okay with him making it messy? Because it looked like he had no other avenue. Do you think that he probably could took a different way on this?
Well, it's always amazed me at how in a marriage, two people who are supposed to be the closest people or have the closest connection, relationship. You know, the other week I talked about how marriage should be founded on love, and you guys talked about how it should be founded on business.
I'm glad you said that. Keep going here. I was going to go to this point. I'm glad you did that, John. Let's go here.
A relationship founded on love, a union, a devotion, a commitment before God, all these things, how you become so close with this person that you want to make them your life partner. But towards the end, when you all make that decision to separate, on how you become damn near, it seems like enemies. Like how could you be so close with this person and then so far away from them when it's time to separate? It always blows my mind, man. And then attorneys, I know it's their business, it's their profession. You know, they always want their clients to go for the gusto. I kind of echo JD's sentiments as far as protecting Dell protecting himself. He has to do that in this case. I mean, all of them have paper, but it seems like that paper that those who have it is never enough. They always want more. Nope. And we live in a litigious society where, in most cases, especially if the male did any kind of wrong, he's got to pay for it. But I honestly feel like it should be balanced out. It should be balanced out. Equal rights. You know what I'm saying? So he has to fight for his equal rights. He did wrong. He has to pay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he should have to pay exactly what her and her attorney says. You know what I'm saying? And what might has she done, you know, in that case as well? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All I know is that in the end, both parties have an obligation to protect themselves, but at the same time, the humanity, man, you know, where's the fairness? You know, how do you just become enemies? You know, it seems like it's a thin line between becoming enemies and lovers. You know what I'm saying? Once that line is crossed, it's like, man, every man for themselves. So, you know, Dell has to protect himself. She has to protect herself. I get that, but man, just be reasonable. Let's be reasonable, people.
John, you're right about protecting, but when everybody's rich, what's there to protect? Your answers are spot on, bro. Yeah, I couldn't say it better. You and JD hit it right on the nail. But her son is going to make $300 million between now and 2025. Steph for Philly is making what, $8-10 million a year for Philly now, off the bench, making good money now when he got traded over there and got his contract. You know, I mean, her new boo is a millionaire. So when we talk about protecting interests, man, that's a dirty game, ain't it, man?
It is. Does she really need that bread?
No.
Does she really need it?
You're rich. Everybody's rich. Everybody getting this. Think about it. If you the mama to Steph Curry, you think she got to worry about a dime ever?
Yes.
She's breathing?
Yes.
Right now.
Yes, she has to worry.
I want to hear this. Oh, great, Mike. I want to hear what you guys say here. Cool. Different opinion here. I want to hear this.
Because it's not her money. Steph's money is not her money. It's Ayesha's money now. There's a woman in the house now. She doesn't she doesn't determine how much money she can get from that family anymore. You know, because they are Christian, right? So now he's married to her.
They're in the Bible Belt.
So I'm sorry to say that money doesn't belong to the mommy no more. If she crosses Steph's wife will put the law down. We obviously can see it happening. You see it in their in their social media how it works. We see how the fact that Steph had to open up his mouth now because his wife couldn't shut her trap. So who controls that household? Steph is controlled by women. So Steph got his mother, who's his wife now.
Mother's
so his mom knows that she needs to protect herself because she might not get any money if something happens later on.
I don't think she should bank on that. You know,
she shouldn't. She shouldn't. But the way Steph's, reason why I brought that up, the way Steph's acting right now, she got $400 million, right? Because the way he's taking side. But you're right though, Myk. That is valid because the way that her and Dell falling flat right now. Let's say that her and the new boo in about 2 years fall flat, and then she's complaining, and then Steph is hearing it, and then Aisha's like, nah, stop talking to your moms. We got problems over here.
I think she got sugar mama bread. You know what I'm saying? She good. You know?
Sugar mama bread.
She has that false.
We're gonna go there. We're going with sugar mamas now. That's her new lot in life right now. Sonya's gonna be putting it down for the younger dudes.
If her and the NFL guy separate. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she wouldn't have. She's a beautiful woman. I know.
Yeah, for 55, she still looks beautiful.
She's gonna do a Mrs. Pippin.
Oh no! well, Laura's a different ball. Well, Myk, you open up a can of worms here because
I'm just saying
she's for the streets. Laura, oh Lord, she's still with the streets right now.
I'm just saying. That's the thing. She comes out of this. She looks at value. Now she's like thinking that she is of value. You haven't checked your age, lady. So now she has to cash every check that she can get right now as much as possible for her to regroup herself. We look at this divorce. We're like, people are like, oh, this just happened out of nowhere. No. This, like JD was talking about, this divorce was probably brewing for a long time. Yeah. Long time. You don't just go in, we're having a divorce. I'm sure in somewhere in there with their Christian beliefs, they're like, we need to pray for this. Let's go meet a couple preachers. Let's go meet a couple pastors. All these different things. They went through the process of probably doing the therapy and all that kind of stuff. They got the money for that stuff. They'll go through that stuff, but really it never happened. I mean, 60% of people who go into therapy to try to fix a marriage will get a divorce. It doesn't really fully work, but they do save 40%, I guess, So
Myk, you don't think she's a high value woman?
She's high value. Yes. She's not high quality.
Woo.
You saying because if you were a high quality woman, if you're of quality, why would you do this and put your, just like how Dell's getting blamed for things? Why are you putting your stuff? If they got a divorce, the paparazzis are going to be trying to find out what's going on. They'll figure this out somehow, some way. Dell knows that, so he had to make sure that he released it first, so that he can use that power. This is going to come up later on anyways, so might as well put it out there, right? So she's not of high quality because she's hoping that she's using her woman's clout that she can say that I'm a woman, defend me, please, I'm innocent here, and everyone's defending her now, right? So that's the biggest problem right there, and got exposed. How many other guys she's with? You moved in with another guy. You couldn't, with all your money that you still have, you could not have gotten a condo somewhere or rented a beach house for now, a lake house. But no, you moved in with the guy. That's because she needs to seal the deal on her next check. I'm not saying victim. She needs to find out where she's going to house herself.
Hey, did you guys see the video when she was at the basketball game and she was kind of grinding on one of Steph's old basketball teammates at the game?
Oh snap!
No, yeah, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
When you guys get a chance, they kept showing her. She's like Steph hit a three, and she's like this, and the dude's sitting in the chair, and she's just rubbing all up on him like this, and she grabs him and kind of kisses him, and then you see the close up on Dell, and he's like this.
This after they separated?
No, this is like a couple years ago. So when we're talking about so when we're talking about like there's been problems going on, like everybody's been pointing to that video because she's clearly like she's doing this and she's rubbing her booty on the dude and he's sitting down like, oh, like this. And then Dell literally like 2 rows up is like this looking down.
Low quality woman. You don't do that. If you had a man, you don't do that.
You sure she wasn't trying to shake popcorn off her body?
You never know. Pop.
She was loving that 30-year-old man's legs the way they was feeling when she was shaking up on them. That's all I gotta say. She was more happier for a 3 than I thought she could be happy for.
That was Sugar Mama warm up right there. She said she was more happy for a 3 days.
Hey, before we go forward here, I just want to send a shout out to Chris Rice, man. Hey, you killing me with these comments, bro. You coming here every week. You family. You dropping some gems for us, man. Yo, keep doing it, man. Farsight.
What up, Chris?
Hey, Farsight. What's up with you and Crystal K, man? You are really, really showing your appreciation for her. We got to get her back on so that you can kind of chat with her when she gets back on the show. We see you talking about her every week, Farsight. I ain't mad at you. You let
I know she ain't even on, and like somehow he find a way to like weave her into the conversation. Yeah. It's kind of impressive.
Genius. That's genius. How do you bring Crystal K into this situation when she's single, not even divorced? That's good work, Farsight. That's good work, bro. Got to give it to you on that.
He's got a far sight. He's hoping that one day he can be in Dell Curry's position.
And go Myk and go more Myk hike. I'm sorry, go more hike. Shout out to you. I haven't seen you in the chat before. If you have, I apologize. Thanks for coming in, man. Hey, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm liking your comments, man. You bringing the real tonight. And the BZ Davis 17. Shout out to you as well, man. The chat's popping again tonight. I gotta send a shout out to people who's doing it for us.
Yeah, for sure. And if you watching and you like what you see, message somebody right now and tell them to come watch, man.
No doubt. So let's get back into this here. We're going to probably start closing up on this Aisha, Steph, Dell, the whole Curry fiasco here. I'm just kind of curious, guys. When NBA season starts, are you going to be watching more Golden State Warriors games?
No.
Never have.
No. I mean, it's not. Well, I mean, I'm a Bulls fan, tried and true. So no matter what, like I barely have enough time to watch them. Like I have to make myself watch them. These last few years, they're gonna be decent this year though. So I'll definitely catch a lot of games. I'm gonna try to. We should go to a game or something like that.
Hey, let me know, JD. I'm thinking about getting. Even though I'm no longer a Bulls fan anymore, I'm just a sports fan. I'm putting that out there. I have dropped that die hard. Like I'm losing sleep and I'm depressed. Nah, you know what though? I dropped that narcotic. I am no longer a diehard Bulls, Bears, Sox fan.
I'm a diehard.
You know what though? I got off that drug, people. You know what though? Life on the other side is better. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I sleep better at night. I'm not upset when they lose. I'm not going crazy outside when they win. I just look at all y'all crazy fools in the shop, be like, yo, what they gonna do? I'm like, hey, they're gonna do what they keep doing. So,
and you're not constipated anymore?
No constipation. My bowels run slow. Straight flow, baby.
Damn, narcotics cause some constipation.
Yeah, we straight flowing, baby. Straight. Hey, sorry, I diverged there. So let's get back into. We can't do the sports talk here. This will turn to anything but basically at that point here.
What'd you try to say?
JD gonna take me down that rabbit hole again. I'm not going there, JD.
All right.
So you're not gonna watch no Golden State Warriors games, you said, JD.
No, like the drama. I was just gonna say that the drama is not going to translate into views for me. I think a lot of times, a lot of people and a lot of celebrities subscribe to the anytime you're in the news is a good thing. Anytime your name is being spoken, it's a good thing. So maybe they are operating under that assumption that, just keep your name in the news somehow, some way. I think a lot of times the people's family values are corrupt, and a lot of people go into celebrity and becoming a celebrity, and they think that it's going to be one way, and then that money, that fame absorbs them, and it changes who they are. Like I know we were talking before about they all have money, so what's everybody fighting for? I mean, the only thing better than money, or the only thing better than having money, is to have more money. And that level of greed is something that's always going to be there for everyone. I mean, everybody talks about how, I'm humble. I'm humble. Like, no, you're not. I'm not humble. If I was humble, I would be living somewhere that was, ultra small, just trying to get by because, I'm humble and I don't need all that stuff. No, there are things that I need and there are things that I want, and I'm going to get the things that I want if at all possible. But I think that the level of celebrity that these guys have, it is, it's shocking that if this relationship was on the rocks for as long as it was, that it didn't fizzle out before. And they've been together for a long time. And that celebrity and that celebrity factor didn't come in between them before this point. Like, it's honestly amazing because I can easily see when Dell's been famous for a long time. And he's been desirable for a long time. And I'm sure he's been creeping for a long time. And I think a lot of times guys don't necessarily think about the woman in this situation. I think we kind of been down on Miss Curry for a little bit. And I think we need to sort of understand that, if she's downtrodden and she's been through the ringer, maybe she was the one that was trying to hold the marriage together for years and was turning the other cheek and looking the other direction when she see her man getting text at 2 a.m, or he's coming in late, from a quote unquote road trip. Like, maybe she was the one that was turning her head and trying to just keep things okay. And, maybe that caught up with her. Maybe she's spiteful now. Maybe that's why she decided to move in with this guy. The only thing about moving in with the guy is makes it look bad because it looks like you need to be with somebody. And I'm sure she's self-sufficient. That probably wasn't the best look, but I'm kind of rambling at this point. Just my musings, No,
it's cool, JD. Yeah, we're hard on her, but you know what though? I'm gonna be hard on her. You filed for alimony. You're asking for not just what you think you deserve, you asking for more. So when you ask for more and you move the other dude, you're gonna get these hands. Because if y'all rich, why can't you just go ahead and get your things and walk out? And everybody got money. You did, at that point when I see that there, that's you got to axe the grind. You're making a point now. I'm gonna get you back or whatever get back it is there. That's what I'm putting on there. And it shouldn't be that way when you got money. You're just trying to kind of get that final jab in the back there. Real fast here before I go to John and Myk here. Go more Myk. I used to watch Fresh and Fit. I guess I kind of do, but they've been exposed lately, man. They out here wilding. They ain't being real. They ain't being true, man. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go holler at O'Shea Duke Jackson.
Everybody's so quick to expose somebody.
Well, no, the issue. Well, not exposed. They cost themselves. Though it's not exposed. They did it themselves. You can't talk about one thing, and then when you get caught up, and it's the opposite, you got to own it. And then when you don't own it, and then you try to go to this quicksand trying to do all these other things, and it's not sincere. So this is not the show to go into it. Myk on his channels have talked about it. We kind of did a reaction video a few weeks ago on it, but Fresh and Fit, they got a good show. I may check them out from time to time, man, but they got a lot of work to do, man, because they ain't real. This is people 100. They are not 100 when it comes to their talk. And if you're not 100 in your talk, then how can you believe what they're saying? Just gotta say that out here. Sorry about that. Anyways, though, John, Myk, let's tailor this particular topic here. Is marriage a business? A couple weeks ago, I know JD, I know Jeff was on here. Jeff is in the chat here, not able to probably comment on it. And I know John, we'll talk about love and things of that nature. But this point proves it's a business first, then love second, right?
No,
not in every relationship. No, not in
if you break up, isn't it a business? Look what's happening here. Assets, money, property, that's business related. That's not love.
Yeah, if you have those things.
Oh wow, you going okay? We're going with John. Hold on. But I don't want to know. I gotta go to John here. Let me go to John here. So we're gonna break this down to broke couples and non-broke couples.
we got it.
Wait, hold on. John, that's what we do.
I'm saying we got to include. We can't just look at people with assets. There are people who don't have assets where they can just give each other a high five, like, "Hey, you live your life, I live mine," and they just walk away from each other.
But when you think about it though, if you have kids, John, and you get a divorce, and then you talk about you ain't got nothing but a job, that job is going to get cut in hardcore for that child support, right? That's business related, ain't I?
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
Yeah.
Even if you broke in, got nothing, the judge can be like 19%, baby.
True that.
Cut it.
That portion of it is always going to be business. It's always going to be business. But I think in particular cases, it's more business than others. You know, I think there's been quite a few people that have had decent/good, healthy breakups, divorces, where they came to an agreement. I personally know people that did not involve attorneys, and they just handled the paperwork themselves. They YouTubed it, you know, and they separated, man. To me, that's beautiful. And they had children. To me, if you, once again, I know we live in a litigious society. However, man, if you have any kind of feeling or relationship, not even feeling, but a relationship with that person you with, and y'all got some good sense, both the man and the woman, or the both individuals, then there's no reason why you can't sit at the table and have a decent discussion about how to go about doing things rationally and reasonably to where both parties walk away okay. To me, I mean, I know it's not a common thing, but it can and does happen. And I've seen it. I know people.
You're speaking from a high value man, John, who has high value options, who has high value background, who's speaking logically here. But we know that when the breakdown happens, will both parties have that kind of logic sense that you just provided to us, brother?
In most cases, no, unfortunately. But the possibilities is there. Yeah.
Hey, before I get to you, Myk, there's a question that Chris has posted here. My question to y'all: what's the purpose of marriage certificates if you truly believe in commitment? Myk, do you have a comment on that one or no?
Well, marriage certificates never really existed in the long run. It's a more recent, within this past century, that we actually have marriage certificates that are actually in place. I mean, back in the days, the marriages were just certificates that were made from the church that you actually got married. When it came time for marriage certificates that are provided by the state, that is just within the past 100 years. And the reason for that was the beginning of to be able to more protection, to be able to have, number one, state to make more money. Okay. You know, the state can make more money for filings as much as possible. But at the very same time, is if there's commitment, exactly. But then there's going to be the other aspect where people say, well, if there's commitment, why do we have to do a prenup? You know, it goes both ends. So, I mean, what's it for? Well, number one, a lot of people want to just get married. Like, most people want the idea of getting married, but don't even talk about what to do when the marriage is there. Right. And so that's why a lot of these stuff kind of breaks down, you know, but going into like just that whole thing about business and marriage, you guys heard what my feel is. Here's my thing. I don't look at it as a business, but I think that you have to approach it as a business. Not saying looking and saying it's a business, okay? But I'm sorry to say, it's $1 billion industry. Marriage is a business. The whole thing, the industrial complex of marriage, that's why the certificates are there. That's why those marriage certificates are there, because why? That's the way to be able to monitor what's going on about the. I mean, the only reason why we can figure out what's going on with marriages is because of the marriage certificates. You think the churches, every time somebody gets married back in the days, would turn in that to the government, say who got married? No, we need to be able to find out who's living with each other. So it's just another way of control for the government to be able to have access more to what's going on with people's daily lives. If you look at it, I mean, just look at the whole marriage certificate. I mean, even if we can even go into dating and all that stuff later on. Dating has just only been happening since the 70s. There's no such thing as dating during the 60s and the 50s and the 40s. So marriage is the same exact thing. It's a new phenomenon in regards to certificates, and there's a lot of changes in what's happened.
Hey, so my parents didn't date?
No, your father courted your mother. Courting is not dating.
Courtship.
Because what was courtship? Courtship was where the father approaches the father of the woman to say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in your daughter. Let me show you my receipts on who I am. And the men conversed still. The family was involved. Dating is where the family is no longer involved in making a decision to be able to understand who the woman is going to approach. So now you have a young girl who's, most girls will try to use this and say that women's mind do not actually develop till they're 27, till their frontal cortex is actually fully developed. So you telling me that a young 20-year-old is able to know how to make a decision as her older folks who's been around to know how to be able to recognize the right man for her? That's the biggest problem also in a lot of divorces, is because the family is no longer involved. That's why we have better marriages that are happening that last long outside the United States of America. Because courtship is still required. Yet most women nowadays still require the man to approach her father. Why should the man approach her father? Because that's tradition only. You want tradition. But the truth is, if your father says no, most of the time the girls say, I don't care, I'm still going to marry you. But daddy, I love him. So the whole marriage thing is, I get it. It is a commitment, but it's a business. It has to be approached as a business because, like Dave said, in the end, if it's seen as a business, then the truth comes out that it is a business. 50% of marriages ends up in divorce, right? If we look at 50% of all marriages ending in divorce, guaranteed. So if somebody gives you a parachute to jump off a plane and they say, hey, jump off the plane, but 50% of the chance, it may not work. What are you going to do? You're going to make a move and say, I'm not jumping, right? But then if you start assessing the fact of the Prieto rule and stuff like that with the 80-20 law or the 80-20 rule, are you telling me that, let's say 100 people gets married, 50 are divorced, you're now left with 50 people, right, who are still married? The Prieto rule states that 20% of those people are unhappy or about to get divorced. So now you're left with 40 people who are still married, 20 are still filing. That's why they're not divorced yet. They're still filing. 10. So now you're down to 40. But then you put the Prieto rule there again, the 80-20 on just the basic of stuff. Then you have to look at 20%, 2 times 4, 8. So that means there's 8 people who have unhappy marriages left. So really you only have like about 32 people out of each 100 that could potentially stay with each other. Then you start looking at averages. See, the thing is, why it's a business is because numbers apply to all these things. If a couple is married and they make less than $20,000, they are 3 times more than likely to have a divorce. If the woman has a better job than the man, they have 2 times more opportunity that the divorce will actually happen. If numbers apply to this and you can actually apply mathematics to a industry that it is, then in a way it's a business. That's the thing. But love is still important in a marriage. But how many people do you guys know who get a divorce and they still say that they love each other? So does love really matters?
I've seen people get back together after they get divorced.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
And what's the number in that? Very little. You can't use the outliers as much as possible. You can start using the other stuff, right? If 2 divorced people get back together, they have a 3 times chance higher to get divorced again.
I could believe that, but it happens.
If you've been married more than 3 times or been divorced 3 times and get married, there's a 70% chance that marriage is going to end. So that's the thing right there. It's like, if we can see numbers happening, love is important for a marriage to last, but a lot of people don't talk about finances. A lot of people don't talk about certain things that's important in a business. It's staggering when you start looking at some of these percentages on what causes marriages to happen. And a lot of people are going to be using, well, how about if the woman is being beaten by the man? I don't take that out at all. I think, that's why it's important as well. But the problem is that's only 25% of reasons of why people get divorces. The main reason is finances. So love is not going to matter if there's financial problems. It's just not. So if that's the reason why it fails, then it's a business, or has to be treated as a business at least.
That's an opinion shared by many, I'm sure. Shared by many. But I'm gonna tell.
No, not media. It's called statistics that the government puts out. That's not media.
By many.
By many.
Yeah, shared by many. Saying that it's common. I agree with you in that respect, but I also agree with the other or understand the other side of the scale. See, what we got to understand, for one, too, I courted my wife, by the way. I always joke with her and let her know that her uncle gave me a 1985 Cadillac Brom, 30 goats, a year supply. Broham, and 30 goats and a year supply of flaming hot Cheetos.
Hey, that's it right there, man.
Hey,
that would have sold me right there.
Hey,
you got some melted cheese on that sucker with that as well.
With meat, with some ground beef.
Hey, I gotta respect you and Brandy side of the family, man. That's a proper courtship.
Hey, that's how you know what I'm saying. We took that old school and made it a new school thing
with the new Cheetos. Right, old school with the new Cheetos.
Yeah, exactly. But on a serious note, love, man. We talk about the whole business aspect of marriage and everything. Love, man. It's important because you gotta think about it. When you get old and you can't wipe your butt no more, what's gonna wipe your butt when you with somebody? It's love. That's gonna have an old person. If you got a bidet. How many people got a bidet in your house?
I'm getting one next week.
You don't have one right now. So if you broke both of your arms and couldn't wipe your own ass, it would be love from your wife that would wipe your ass. Not because it's a business. I don't think
that's love, bro. I think that's gonna be another word to use. I think she's gonna be disappointed.
Yeah, but it's gonna be love to make her that would cause her to do it, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So somebody that don't love you, unless they're getting paid to do it, they're not gonna want to wipe your ass. But love will wipe your ass. And look what's going on in the world right now. We got these crate challenges going on right now. People climbing crates. So if you decide to do that crate challenge, and you walk up to the crates and you hit every single damn crate on the way down, what's it going to be in that person to pick you up and heal your inner wounds and help you get yourself back right? It's love. It ain't business. It's a lot of people falling off crates. It's love that picks them back up. That's all I'm saying.
Real fast, John, you did that crate challenge, didn't you?
Hey, I know if I decide to do the crate challenge, I know it's love that's gonna help pick my ass up. My wife gonna pick me up because she's
gonna look at you and say, "Look at this dumbass motherfucker." JD, you doing the crate challenge? Okay, that's enough right there. Myk, I don't think you doing it.
Hell no, I don't got no shoes.
Wow.
I don't got like you see those guys that be like doing it on their Air Jordans.
Yeah. I was like, people who fall and then they fall on their face. Those are the videos that I'm loving.
I love it when they break their arm. Have you seen those? Like, there's that one white dude that got up and is like, "My arm is broken. My arm is broken."
I'm loving the cops who getting they face busted now. So the cops are getting into it at the black festivals now. But we're gonna end this one here. I see that you responded, Myk, to Ashley. Also to Ashley, some of these stats come from the CDC, and also I posted a few weeks ago, blackdemographics.com. So the numbers that Mike's getting, that he said he can send you links, but if you go to blackdemographics.com, statistics for black people, by black people, you can see these statistics as well as the CDC, because they hold those numbers as well.
Yeah, so CDC has it under their I think it's called the Fast Stats reports. So you have those fast stat reports under CDC has those. You also can get them from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. No, not Bureau. The one when they do the year every 6-year survey and stuff like that. That they get those as well. So to get the households, it's out there.
So Ashley, so whenever you hear us throw out numbers like that, these are not these made up numbers. We can, like I said, Myk says in links, but CDC and then for me, blackdemographics.com. Statistics for black people by black people who are certified, claim, and there are no lies in that whatsoever. So when we put numbers out, they are facts. Otherwise, we just like anybody else, like on Fox News, just throwing stuff out there that don't stick.
Or you could check out Johnny Danger's illogicallogic.com.
Ooh, wow. So let's move on here because we know what's going to happen here. We're going to talk about Dell and Sonya down the line because once the divorce starts going down, once we get into NBA season, we're going to see more details of the messiness. We're going to see, like I said, the open secret that Dell being light-skinned he was getting it in. Like I said, that was an open secret. She said in her divorce filings that, he was just out here just wilding, So, and we may find out that Sonya may have had a few more boos on the side because he was wilding. And then we're going to have to see Steph on the stand crying that his mom was getting down and his daddy's getting down. So we'll see that probably in a few months,
He needs some milk.
Someone had posted too that Steph probably was not breastfed. So I want to know who was that in the chat who probably posted that. I don't got time to pull that up here. But John, someone contradicted you saying that he wasn't breastfed. I think it was probably Chris.
Dude, I'm willing to bet $20. If some way, folks, I charge everybody in the chat that's watching. If we can factually find out whether Steph Curry was breastfed by his mother or not, please. Let's do that. Let's reconvene.
We need dental records. We need to find Steph's teeth and then look at if there's any. I'm going too far here. This might get a little too X-rated here. No, we might get demonetized for this for the hill. Let me stop right there. Here, let me go ahead and stop. So we're gonna move on to an oldie but good segment here, which is our fun here. So I'm gonna play the little trailer that we haven't played in a while. So for this week here, for the effed up news, we're going to stay in the same category in NBA here. Actually, a man who actually plays for Dell Curry's old team, the Charlotte Hornets. People in the chat, I need y'all to stop what y'all about to type here for a second. If you don't know the story, if you do know the story, I need y'all remarks. I got to see what y'all got to talk about here. We're talking about PJ Washington and his ex-boo, Brittany Renner. Now, I'm gonna wait for the chat here. I want to see if Chris, Ashley, Farsight, hi, all you guys in the chat here. Do you know about PJ Washington and Brittany Renner? Please post in here if y'all know about them right now. And I'm gonna go one by one here. I'm gonna break down the story here. If you guys don't know, PJ Washington plays for the Charlotte Hornets. He was dating a woman named Brittany Renner who was following him since he was a 17-year-old high school phenom, while she was what? 25, 26, Myk E, give or take around that age. So finally, they got together last year in 2020. He's in the NBA. And being PJ who he is, being dumb PJ, raw dog Brittany, and she has open videos talking about NBA players are dumb raw dogging, got her pregnant, had a baby. Then she left him 2 weeks later. Now he's paying $200,000 a month in child support. And she's openly on YouTube saying NBA players are dumb and stupid. And she out here living her best life now at 29 with a baby by an NBA ball player. Got to cut a check for the next 18 years, people. That's right, Chris. She caught a body. So, fellas, as this effed up news here, I know I'm summarizing it. We'll get into details. I'll put the article on the screen here. I want to go to JD because you've been quiet for a second here, but I know how you feel about certain things like this here. First things first, today. How do you feel about a dude in the NBA raw dogging his girl and getting her pregnant, and then she left them 2 weeks after the baby is born, and now she's collecting $200,000 a month for you know how long?
You have to understand what you are. You have to understand what people see you as. If you're in the NBA and like I'm a hopeless romantic. Like that's just me. Like I like to see the romance in relationships. You know, I like to be able to sweep someone off their feet. Like, you know, I think you can have a storybook romance with the person that you're with. But if you are an NBA player, you can't have those sort of views. You can't have those sort of ideas. You can't exist the way I exist, because you will be used and abused as a pawn in the game if you have that sort of mentality. And I feel like look at this picture, man. He is booed up. He is in love.
Hold on. Let me show the other picture. Look at this picture here. Is he in love here?
No. Go back. Go back.
No.
Go back to the other picture. Go back to the other picture. This is in love, probably like 38 days into the relationship. Go back up now. Go back up to the other picture. Present.
You want to build a snowman?
This is present. This is a present. Like it's so messed up because I just see how this went down for him, man. And like as a guy, especially, like I'll even speak for myself. I'm a lame man. Like if I got to a point where I had millions of dollars in my bank account and I was out here single, and somebody came up to me looking the way that she does, I might be like, oh shucks, yeah, I like you too. Yeah, let's hang out. Oh yeah, of course. Why should I use a condom? Oh man, I'm gonna be with you forever, baby. Like I can easily see that happen. And I'm sure, I don't know him, but I'm guessing he's that guy. And there's a whole bunch of guys that are like that, because at the end of the day, human beings are insecure organisms. It takes a special type of man to be that age and secure enough in yourself to realize how high value you are, and that each of those women 9 times out of 10 are looking at you as a lottery ticket. And you have to understand that, and you have to adjust your mentality and your behaviors accordingly. I'm guaranteeing you, he went into this situation viewing it like any other thing before he's looking at it like, oh man, this is the best girl I've been with since I was 16. And
he was with us.
right.
But you had a high school game.
We're not even getting to the way that she kind of groomed him. Like we're not even getting to that point yet. But just on the outside looking in, he was swept up. He was in love, and he was willing to. He sold out in the name of love, and now his bank account is gonna pay the price for 18 years. 18 years. Pop out one of those kids, and it's 18 years. So like you gotta put the brakes at a certain point, man. You gotta have one of your guys. You got to have that guy that can talk straight to you and say, bruh, enjoy what you're doing, but you better make sure you strap up, because you don't want to deal with this forever if she's going to do what she does and just, drop you like a bad habit. And that's what happened to him, man. It's sad. I don't feel sorry for him, but it's sad.
Hey, before I go to you, John, when you look at this picture that I have on the screen right now, when you see him and then you see her, and what is the first things that come to your mind besides the fact that she probably turned him out?
You asking me that?
I'm asking you, John.
Well, my mind works a little bit.
I know how your mind works. That's why I'm going to you with this question.
Yeah, it works a little different. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
Looking at him, he ain't thinking about her right now. What it is, he had a damn torta before the basketball game. One of them street vendors, and it's hitting his gut right about now. He like, God, I wish this game was over. I got to go take this number 3. That's what he's thinking about right now. He
wait, number 3.
He's talking himself into negotiating with his belly to be like, man, can I hold you? Can I hold this in, or I'm gonna have to call a timeout and run to the locker room myself to take care of it. That's what he's thinking about right now. But you could also tell he's kind of distraught, man. You could tell he's used to get his hair cut all the time, but I'm looking at his head right now. It's been a minute, and then he might have just hit up the sides himself. He's going through it for sure. And her, she got that look like, man, I could change your life too. You know what I'm saying? She's under the impression that she has that WAP. I don't know if she does, if she doesn't, but from my understanding, doesn't she have a track record? Like I think Drake and
yes. Hey John, she's 29. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, real quick. I don't understand that either. Like, why do these dudes run with the same girls? Like,
I can answer that for you, JD. It's called convenience, because there are certain women in the industry. Now, not all of them are like this, but there are certain women in the industry who are not going to spill the beans. They're not going to tell the dirty secrets of these guys here, because certain regular women can't handle this lifestyle. So they go through the certain ones because they're being recycled, because they understand the game. They understand the lifestyle. They understand what goes on. Now, all of them don't play by the rules, majority of them do. They know, okay, this is old dude here in this house going to get down. This how I get down. You mess with someone who's regular, they don't know how to act. They don't know the rules of the game. So for us on the outside, we're going to say, like, how are they doing this? It's a whole different world when you recognize that these guys got a lot to lose, and some of these women recognize that. Now for her, she was in it like, yo, I finally got one. $200K a month is on, so that's the game.
Escorts, man. Pay for play. I mean, you know, pay for play until you find that future woman of yours. But
what happened to your voice?
Oh, my bad.
It's my woman voice.
That was
okay,
crazy.
Myk. Hey, Myk, stay in that voice.
Get the super deep voice back.
Forget you, man. Forget you.
No, but no, what I'm saying is, like, but isn't it history repeats itself? You guys remember Karen Stephens?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Superhead.
Superhead, exactly. This is just the
hey, she got a new book. She got a new book coming out, fellas.
Yeah, you guys remember the Vixen series, Superhead, back in the days? She's the first one, right? This is just repeating itself. What's going on now? Now, just imagine if Karen Stephens, or whatever you pronounce her name, was currently right now, she's the one. She's this girl, right? If I'm correct, this Jenner girl's got her own book now, or something like that, right? I don't know if she wrote a book or something like that, but
I don't know if she got a book, but she's on YouTube heavy. She got a channel.
Yeah, she's got a book somewhere, I think, if I'm correct. But the thing though with that is that, there was videos about her 3 years ago talking about her plans to hook up with NBA players, and she even in video says these basketball players are the dumbest men in the world. And so you have to look at the fact that why did this happen? That he should have had friends to check him and say, dude, check him. But just imagine his circle of friends right now. His circle of friends are probably not successful basketball players. His circle of friends are his boys from back home that wish they can hit these type of girls. That all they have is a like and a heart on these girls on Instagram, and now their boy is it. Have you guys seen the ass on this girl? I'm just saying, her face don't match her booty, but that booty is something. It's gonna turn out any guy.
Butterface.
So my thing is that just look at it. Not the booty, but just look at the situation in regards to the fact that this dude didn't have the right guys, and most men don't have the right guys that surrounds them, especially at an early age. And whether I don't know the situation how his parents are, so I'm not even going to go into that dynamics. It'll be wrong of me because I have no idea. But my thing is that this dude was given the silver spoon all out his whole life. So this dude didn't know anything better. He wasn't taught what he was supposed to do. If his pull-out game was as good as his pull-up game, maybe he would not have been in this situation.
Yeah. I think they need to bring the Big Brother program out for grown men, especially in the type of industry where men are making a lot of money and they're entertainers and figures and all of that. Mentorship is important for everybody. I mean, well, for men and women, but particularly in this situation, he needed a mentor. But this is what I also know too. It's hard to tell grown people something. Grown folks gonna do what grown folks want to do, period. And when it comes to women have been most men's weaknesses, period. I think Ashley mentioned this, and then Farsight kind of challenged it. Ashley mentioned that PJ preyed on him. He was still in high school at the time, right?
Yeah, Brittany preyed on her. He was 17 and she was 25 when she was going to his high school games.
Yeah, she preyed on him. She did, because if you switch the role, if it was a man in that case, and maybe a female in high school, maybe she played tennis or something like that, or basketball, and that male did the same thing that she did, then we would be looking at it totally different. We'd be looking at it,
actually,
like
hey, John, it's the same. We talk about R. Kelly going to Rock and Roll McDonald's. Like we're joking about R. Kelly in the chat earlier. That's what R. Kelly was doing. When you out here in Chicago, when R. Kelly was in his prime, he was downtown over there on LaSalle, whatever it is, Rock and Roll McDonald's over there.
So
and he was getting it in, locking them down, man, just wheeling them into the limo. So that's what she was doing. She was going to his high school games before he got drafted in 2019 after 1 year in college, 17. then played 1 year and the ACC, and then got drafted in 2019. So 25. Imagine a 25-year-old man was scoping a 17-year-old girl out here basketball games, like R. Kelly be doing. That's the same. That's the exact same analogy that you brought, John. Good point.
R. Kelly was sipping strawberry milkshakes with Hennessy in them. Get himself right to do that, man. That's what I heard. Anyway.
That hen dog,
Hennessy and strawberry milkshakes.
What about the Incredible Hulk with that mix in there?
What if McDonald's did sell that? You know they got that Shamrock shake, right?
The Incredible Hulk shake.
Hey, I guarantee they probably sell out. They'll sell out in Chicago for sure.
Could you imagine going to McDonald's during St. Patty's Day weekend and getting an Incredible Hulk milkshake, straight alcohol?
Come on now. I get it just to see what it tastes like. Long as it didn't have any soy in it. I ain't gonna mess with it if you got soy. Ain't do that.
I don't want man boobs either, so I ain't getting no soy.
No, right?
No man boobs. No moves for me, man.
Hold on. Wait,
no moves.
I don't do soy, but soy gets you man boobs?
Yeah.
That's what they say, yeah.
It has a bunch of female stuff in there. That's why when women drink soy, boobs get bigger. Yeah.
Oh man.
Soy is bad. Soy is bad for you. Tofu is bad for you, especially for men.
You hear that, fellas?
It's
not only y'all checking this out, because 4 minutes talking here, we just give you some game right now. You don't want no man boobs. Stop rocking with that soy.
Stay away from the moves, man. No moves allowed. Hashtag no moves.
Yeah.
Oh, look at Ashley says soy has a lot of estrogen. Thank you, Ashley.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you want man boobs, you should grow your own soy. At least you know it's raw, real, and uncut. You can grow your man boobs.
Oh, I'm staying away from that. I never drink it, but thanks for telling me that. Y'all schooled me, folks. I didn't realize I was not drinking it for a reason. Now you just gave me another reason why I should say no. Like drugs, just say no. Thank you, fellas. Thank you. Hey, before we keep it going here, we've been going hard for about 90 minutes here, man. This chat is going on. What's up, BZ David 17, man? Hey. Hey, go more, Myk. Let's see what you got going on there. Far Sight, yeah, you doing your thing here, Chris Rice. Hey, this chat is popping here tonight, ain't it, fellas?
It is.
Everybody having fun tonight.
They always represent.
Yes, they are.
Appreciate you.
Back to Brittany Renner and the drama here with PJ Washington. What would you do now, fellas? Let me pose an individual question. Just got drafted in the NBA. You just finished your second year making this guap. And then now you can't even see your baby now. Because he's complaining now he can't even see his child now. What would y'all feel about this? And now you raw dogging nutted into the wrong woman. You can't even see the seed now. JD, what would you do?
Oh, I mean, it'd be over at that point.
I mean, I'm sorry, John. I hate to phrase it like that to you, JD, but these are facts, and this is what happened here.
Yeah.
Raw dog, and you let the seed go, and the seed can't come and seed you now.
The seed that you planted, it can't.
You can't even see it grow. You can't even water that bad boy.
Can't even water that bad boy.
He watered it too much. That's what happened.
Right. That's preposterous.
Well, maybe she watered because she got that wop, but still, you can't see the seed now. JD, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like it's it has to be beyond disappointing for him. Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine, not being able to see my daughter as much as I see her. So to have missed all those, early and initial stages, man, like I couldn't imagine how bad that would be. I don't get how that's allowed and he's still forced to pay the amount of money that he's paying. And then he can't see, or she's not allowing him to see his child. If you don't let him see her, like, he shouldn't have to pay a dime. And I guarantee you that baby would be there 20 minutes later. The second the judge came across and said that baby, oh, here he is right here. Here you go.
Quickness.
Like, I mean, it's sad that, that child is being used as a pawn in all this.
Yeah,
like, love and relationships can be a dirty game. And I think that people go into it with the best of ideas, but you either have to go through bad things in order to learn from them, hopefully, or you have to have the right people around you to guide you in the right direction. You also have to be humble enough to listen to good advice when you get it.
Say that again, bro.
Yeah, you got to be humble enough to listen to good advice when you get it, and I think that it takes time and seasoning in order to get to that point. I know if knocking on 40-year-old me came up to 21-year-old me and broke down like, hey bro, this is exactly how your life is gonna go if you continue down the path that you're going, I would have said, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna go out here and do what I think is best. But that's nobody's fault but mine. And I had to go through those things in order to get to where I'm at. The only thing that I can hope for PJ Washington is that he got a costly experience, a lesson right now, and I hope that he's able to in turn learn what he needs to learn from this situation, and also not look at the child with spite in his eyes and in his heart, man, because there could be a lot of anger built up there. Like, I'm glad that he wants to see the kid, and I hope that he wants to continue to be in the child's life, that he doesn't look at the child as like, man, this is your fault. Because I know unfortunately, I know some men that do exactly that, and they can quickly just shun the child because of the mom, and that's a messed up situation and a messed up way to be.
Yeah, man.
I like that tag here. I'll go to Myk E here. Is PJ Washington a simp? And how do you feel about him not seeing his kid right now?
Me?
Yes, you, Myk.
See, listen, man. I mean, the kid's a young boy. He's a young boy, man. I can't believe I'm actually calling a kid a young boy right now. That means I'm just an old person already. But the thing though is, like, how can a man be called, when they're still that young? It's hard. Because, like, the way I look at it is like some of these guys that calls this guy a simp because he's such a young age gentleman. Hello, every man has simped at one point. Just depends on when you grew up in life. At one point, you chased some nani. You chased the booty. You did something to be able to try to get that. At one point, any dude here that says otherwise, you're a joke. Okay? That's my thing. So he made a mistake. He has to learn. He's still a young guy. The thing, though, is it's a costly thing that happened to him. And what's funny is that we now have men emasculating this boy rather than try to build him up. We can talk about a joke around a little bit, but don't be calling these, it's a sad situation. It's the whole aspect of what's going on right now in the court system, right? 10% chance of being able is the only, nothing more than 10% of a man can actually obtain the rights on his child, on custody. This kid is forever going to be hung in front of his head right now to be able to collect money. So, let's not call this kid a simp. I'm sorry. It's like the kid, he made a mistake. What needs to happen is the right type of men need to be surrounding him right now and say, hey, brother, this is what happened to you. This is how you're going to be able to get away from this next time and not get caught up in this whole situation. The worst part about it is those guys that be getting multiple girls pregnant, and they never learned. They just never learn. And this guy has an opportunity to learn. And so that's the problem. My thing on blame on this one, if his father is in his life, the father made a mistake. This is one of the biggest mistakes his father ever made because his father never taught him any better. And if his father can say that he did, then this kid just needs some growing up to do. And that's why, these guys leaving college early, they haven't had time to mature yet. They haven't learned basic skills on how to live life the right way. And so, what's the lifetime chance of, what's the average years that an NBA player plays? I think it was like 7 years or something like that.
4.
Or 4? Okay. So what's going to happen after 4 years when he's no longer playing, or 5 years when he doesn't, and can he pay that $200,000 a month? Like, see, this girl, she's going to jump to the next guy that's going to get blinded. There's so many, she already had this plan to do all this stuff. It's in YouTube and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden people are still falling for this. Like, I don't get it. Right. But this is where guys right nowadays needs the education. And, Look, I'm sorry. Why, just going at it later, we're still saying that it's his fault in a way where there's, and the thing though is nobody's hitting this girl up. Nobody's shaming this girl right now. They'll say stuff about her, but there's no shaming her here. If you look into the news that's going on right now on TV, what's happening? All these talk shows are making fun of how this dude failed. When you're not questioning the fact that we failed, these women out here are also failing. We call this guy a simp. We call this guy he messed up. Everything's on the dude. That's the thing. When something bad happens, it's always on the dude that gets blamed. It's never on the woman. And I think that's the biggest problem, is that women can all of a sudden put their pigtails on and be like, I'm a woman. Don't attack me. But men are the ones that's going to be put in this situation. Now he's financially going to be burdened with this one. And does he deserve it? No. In a way, no, he doesn't deserve it. But it goes both ways. My question is, you're just a young kid. You didn't pay attention. You thought that you were invincible. You thought that you can raw dog it all throughout. And I think that's just where it's wrong. I hate to bring. Ashley, for example, made a comment that he should have had something like he should have had these ants to protect him. What are you talking about? What do you mean? The ant's going to protect him from women? It's not going to happen.
She said that to put him on game. Basically, they've done the same thing, so they can tell him what to look out for.
That wasn't going to do nothing of him raw dogging.
How can a woman teach a man to have game or to have that stuff, to know what the situation is?
She can give him knowledge. Maybe they've been that person that was out there and they've reformed, they've changed their ways.
Okay, so let's look at a lot of the single mothers raising boys right now who's messing up at this moment and having all these problems.
We're gonna have to circle back around to that, because there's a whole bunch of single mothers out there.
But that's what I'm saying.
Doing great.
No,
that are doing great by their men and their boys.
My thing is why is not the argument saying that he should have had good uncles to raise him right so that he knows what can happen in the game? It's always about, what happens is it's the woman is to save the day. No. Listen, a man's thing, when this is a man's situation right now, they should, people still go by the woman's going to save the man all the time. And that narrative needs to stop, because this is what happens. When a man fails, a woman's supposed to save the day. When the man is successful, who gets the stuff? The woman made this. You don't hear the fathers being praised. It's always the woman being praised. And that's the problem, the narrative that's going on right now. And people don't pay attention to these little small things sometimes.
The fathers being, or the women being praised in what situations?
If a child does something successful, they're always going to talk about the mother. The mother did this, the mother did that. You are rarely going to hear sometime where they start saying it was all the father. It was about the father.
Who are they?
Talking about athletes.
Talking about athletes.
I'll chime in. Every time you see someone win a championship, it's like, hi, mom, I'm going to Disney World. You never see, hi, dad. Thanks, dad. Anytime you see a successful athlete at the pinnacle of the peak, you're never saying, I thank my dad.
What about Jordan? What about Jordan?
You're naming an anomaly of one person, JD. Let me finish. JD,
I can't roll with y'all on this.
No, JD, let me finish here. You named an anomaly of Jordan. You named one person. I'm going to give you, I want you to give me 5 right now, and we'll go from there then. Outside of, don't even count Jordan in there. Let's just go through athletes who've been at the pinnacle and said, thank you, Dad.
I can't be put on the spot. Like,
no, but you said Jordan, though. Because
that's the first one that came to mind. That's the biggest athlete ever.
You got to give you can't say it's a ton if you only name one.
The balls. That's 3 right there.
Oh, but no. He said no. LeVar's the daddy. They don't talk about their mama. LeVar's the one running that show.
Yeah, but
exactly.
But they don't. But JD's no. But I'm saying though, outside of Jordan, name me 5.
No, I'm not going to be put on the spot.
We don't have recordings. We don't have TiVo. We don't have all that stuff. So we don't have to go into that, specifics of saying who. But in basic narrative,
we understand that though. We've seen it though throughout the years. So I used to joke around about that. You always say hi, mom, but we never say hi, dad. That's
like,
but the Venus and Serena, that they're females though. They're women athletes. So let's talk about. Men athletes.
What I don't understand is, okay, I think that it's there are a lot of women out there who, for whatever reason, are raising their sons to be good and or great men. I don't think that you have to necessarily have a man in the house in order to raise a good.
I gotta stop that right there.
In order to raise a good child,
JD. JD, no, we gotta stop this logic right now.
Okay, everybody in your family, everybody in your family has a relationship.
You're gonna say here that no dude
they didn't come out good.
No, JD, I'm not gonna
Everybody got a relationship.
I'm not gonna let you say that. You're gonna co-sign that?
Okay. So we talking about extremes. So if you got a person out here who doesn't have a father in their situation, they're destined to be a failure, and they can't be successful as a man. That's what you're saying right now.
No, the numbers showcase that black men.
I don't care about the numbers.
JD, let me finish.
They weren't going to be successful.
JD, no, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. But you're praising women for being single women, saying that they don't need a man in the house.
I'm not praising. I'm saying they got to do what they got to do.
No,
if their man isn't there, that might.
You just said that they don't need a man in the house. Did you not just say that? That's why I thought.
Maybe if they don't have a man, they don't have that situation. I don't know what their situation is, but if they don't have a man in there, it is not a requirement to have a man in your household in order to raise a successful man. You do not need a man.
Yes,
you do not need a man to be successful.
It may not happen all the time.
100% do not have to have
I have to agree with JD on this, Dave, that you don't need a man to be able to raise.
No. I'm not saying you need. But the problem, let me finish my point here. Let me finish my point here. You don't need a man. The problem in society is that we are telling women that they don't need men in general. That goes over the head at times. When we say don't need a man, they're doing this. A lot of women say, I don't need a man at all.
That's different.
And so I'm saying that we need to temper down that argument and bring it down a few levels here.
That's different.
That's different.
And
that's totally
different. I understand where you're coming from with that one stuff, but then I can also go take it to the next extreme where now we have a bunch of guys saying we don't need women either. So
that's wrong too.
So where that is that what happened is, people just stopped having conversations. People stopped having dialogue because people just got full of each other, that they went their own ways on each side. And, in regards for, it's unfortunate, the situation where a lot of women end up raising, families without men in them, right? There's a bunch of different social dynamics that actually occurred from that stuff. But the problem is what women need to understand is a boy needs a man to surround him, and they need to be able to, at least if not in the household, but somebody has to step up in there, and they need to find that person. And so that's why, like the Boys and Girls Clubs and all those kind of things. But a lot of people don't understand that those type of places are available. There's a lot of women nowadays who think that they can raise men, and that is not going to happen. The thing though is a lot of boys that raise up, you have to figure out in the psyche of things, they need to be able to have a man to be able to be the North Star for them, so that they know what a man is supposed to be. And if they don't have that, whether they find, a mentor, whether on TV or something, they're not really going to be able to facilitate that correctly. That's just how it is. If you just start looking at basic, psychological stuff and how people grow up, because it's in the numbers in regards when there's no man in the household. What happens to children? There's just the stats is just against it so much. And I know there's a lot of small things that actually occurs in that stuff, but the thing was, in the end, a young boy needs to be able to have some type of a man to look up to. The problem is most of these boys end up getting the wrong type of man around them. I mean, that's just the thing. Because guess what? If they're not around a real man, they learn relationships through their mothers. Now, that's where the problem starts happening. And so it's up to the mom now, and that can be a problematic thing. Now, I know for a fact there's a lot of good women that raise boys to grow up, but then if you ask those boys, more than likely they'll tell you that they found a mentor, whether it's a coach, whether it's a teacher, whether it's someone. And that's the thing. I mean, I agree with JD saying that they don't have to be in the house, but somebody has to be present to be able to mold that young child's mind. And if that's not there, that's the problem that's existing. And that's why we're seeing so many problems happening with young kids, you know, that happens.
And sorry, and reason why I was feeling passionate about that, JD, is because one of the items that I've looked at, especially in the CDC or blackdemographics.com, and I just see this out in the streets, is that young Black boys are on the lowest denominator as far as learning when it comes to being in a single family household out of any demographic. So I understand, like I see in the comments here, like, you know, not every option, you're not going to have a man in the household. This is a whole nother deeper conversation. I know we're not going to have time to finish tonight, that we'll probably have to finish go back another episode. I'm just looking at the fact that we see so many factors of women who put this in place where that they don't need a man, or they say they don't need a man. And then we're seeing the results of our children coming up, the next generations, then we're seeing the learning deficiencies, the mental disabilities they have, just the social curb alone of not having that man in the household. Does it happen all the time? No, we know that's not the case here because we see so many single mothers in the case here. But there's another conversation I want to have in the show. It's called marry before you carry. That is a huge problem that we have in our situation. I may sound old school about this here, but we wouldn't have these problems here if we married before we carried, because you know that man had a commitment to that woman, and that woman had a commitment to that man, and that child's going to be in the best place, even if they divorce. But if you have someone raw dogging like Brittany's, like we have Brittany here and PJ Washington, the child's going to get hurt here because one had an ulterior motive. The one, obviously, PJ wasn't in love with her because, like we said, we got to stop calling him a simp. I agree with Myk on that. He was 19. How many of us were 19 years old, did some dumb stuff? So we got to have someone to teach this young man, like, you know, you messed up once, you got a beautiful child out of this. Let's make sure you don't do this again. But it's another bigger problem, too. It's the fact that we're seeing not just situations, but multiple situations where that you know, not marrying, carry, and then now you got the dude who's mad can't see his kid, or the woman saying she finessed him, is on YouTube getting $200,000 a month. No one's happy here. So everybody's all over the place here. So that's why I felt so passionate about it. It's like, yo, we got to stop this here because women think that they don't need a man. And in actuality, we need both parents in the household at the end of the day. Very true. I agree that both parents are a necessity in the household. In a lot of situations, as we can see, mothers more so than men, but there are some single dads out there as well. I'm gonna tell you personally, I do believe that most women do want a man in the house. What we fail to realize is that a lot of the rhetoric we hear women, when women say, you know, I don't need a man, I can take care of my child on my own, is because they've had to do that for so many years. And women they know have had to. They didn't have the choice of having a good man in the house. A lot of fathers may have helped create that child, but didn't show up to raise that child. Let's not neglect to mention that. So a lot of women had to take that inner strength within them and build up that force, if you will, that says, hey, you know what? I don't need, it's not even saying I don't need a man. It's that woman saying, I don't need you if you don't want to be a part of our child's life. I don't need you in our lives. I can do this and I will do this. So let's make sure we acknowledge that as well. That's not all cases, but I just wanted to bring that up. That is a lot. But it's high in the Black community, which is higher than any other culture. And it's the wrong mentality that we have, that I don't need a man. I can do this by myself. Yeah. And that is the wrong thing. Even to the point where, like, I know that this guy is okay. We're like that. We've seen situations where that they'll just keep it moving regardless. He could be an okay dude, but like we have here talking about PJ Washington, is he a simp? And women have different ideas of what they call a simp. And then they'll put this dude in the back burner. And what we're seeing here, like with PJ Washington right now. Now, there's so many angles that we could take with this here this time here. I'm just saying that, you know, we need both mom and pops in the house. And when one has an ulterior motive, like we're seeing here, Brittany Renner, man, this kid is not going to be right. Even no matter how much money PJ Washington is making in the NBA, money cannot fix this problem right here when this kid gets grown in adolescence, whatever the case may be. It's perpetuating cycle. So we'll talk about it more.
Get a better lawyer. I mean, now you have to spend money. You want this child? True. Now you have to spend more money. You
got to do that.
And this is where accountability goes. Not shaming him now. This is the education. When you do something of mistake, there's consequences that's involved with this. So now you have to pay up really play now. Because if your child really means a lot to you, then you better pay up for a good lawyer and put up the fight. If your child doesn't mean, because the thing is, we don't know if he really wants this child, right? I want to be able to be fair to both sides and not just say women this, women that. We don't know if he actually wants to be with his child. You know, we also know for a fact there are men out there that they want to now have and be in the life of that child because now that they're paying. I mean, I'm not going to be somebody that's going to go after women and all that stuff. There's faults in both sides here. The problem here is you have a young child that you had a. I'm not going to say the word. It's starts with a P, ends with the aisle of a woman, right? So, you know, feet, P. You know, when you pedal a bike, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to. You know, so the thing though is no one's calling her that name in the news. Nobody's saying this stuff. Why? Because he got lucky. Oh, you must be lucky that you got this girl to get this is the biggest. This is where it just goes messed up. And just like you talked about, Johnny, earlier on, was that what you talked about where if it was different, if a man did this, women would blow a gasket. Women would go crazy and they'll be like, see, these men are always after these young girls and stuff like that. You know, no, because guess what? All those older chicks who got left over already by the guys, they're like, you know, why are they going after, you know, this young girl? You know, that's the biggest problem. It's like that when you look at it, when it comes to face surface on how things are in the TV and the cable land and stuff like that, not in the social media land, it's really messed up. And that's a narrative that a lot of people are watching right now and seeing at this very moment. You know, that's why you start seeing now that guys like us are talking like this, you have women getting mad in a way. Like, why are you even talking about this stuff? You know, because they can't understand now that men are talking, that there's a pipeline of men who are able to have these conversations. And it's good to have multiple sides on everybody. That's what makes it a great conversation, is that everyone has their thing on it. But yeah, it's just, you know, you're just gonna you're gonna have girls go into guys' places of conversations, and they're gonna use ad hominems, they're gonna use name calling when we're talking about an important discussion. You know, and like I hear a lot in my channels, they're like, why don't you talk about the girls? Why don't you talk about, because it's not a girl's channel. It's a guy's channel. Why are you telling me what I'm supposed to talk about in my channel that's for men? And so the narrative just sucks. And I hope he learns. I hope two things happen. I hope he learns from this, number one. And, you know, I hate to say it, but I hope his NBA life doesn't go longer enough. Maybe he breaks a leg or something like that, so she gets taught a lesson as well. Because that, you know, you have to stop the fun somewhere. That's why a lot of guys decide that they don't want to work as much no more, because their money's going to get taken away anyways. So that it's just a cycle that just starts happening, except this just a freaking in a larger realm of things, because it's $200,000 a month.
I think one thing that we need to look at too is that if he would have had a little bit of self-control, none of this would have happened.
Pull out.
DD. Pull out. It's called DD. It's called dick discipline.
Pull out.
Dick discipline, fellas.
Nobody in here can say they had 100% of that all the time.
What, pull out?
No, 43 years old, no kids.
You ain't got no
kids right down there.
Hey, John, I can safely say, until I said I wanted kids, my pull-out game was on point.
You was lucky.
Dude, no, I did. I monitored the girls I'm with. I monitored their temperature, right? I monitored their temperature. I had their calendar stuff. Like my ex-wife, my ex-wife, I had an app for her because I'm like, oh snap, I see stuff happening. Let me go log that fucker up right here.
Serious? Wait.
Hey, JD, yeah, get on mic. I gotta hear your
wait.
And then I'm sorry to say, did you guys ever learn to check?
Baby, you're ovulating right now. We cannot fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. You just have to be smarter about it. Do you guys know the mucus check?
Break that down, please.
Hey, school us, Mike.
Yep.
School chat.
I just did this in my channel the other day. But anyways, so the Christian way of doing it that's acceptable. If you guys ever, when you guys got married, did you guys ever do this training on how to be able to? You monitor their temperature every day. You monitor their ovulation period and to be able to match that. And then you also do the finger check, right? The finger check allows you to be able to figure out the mucus, right? Because the mucus when the mucus is thick, that it covers the cervix, which prevents the sperm to go in. So you just go ahead and when you know that its thickness, so you have to be able to the viscosity of it. So you finger, you open it up to be able to see the thickness and the pliability as well to be able to know that stuff.
Hey, this is a freshman year health class for me, fellas.
See, you guys never paid attention to health class.
Are we talking about oil or mucus? Because I heard something about viscosity. I feel like you about to start talking about Pennzoil any second now.
Pennzoil. Yes, hey, zero W30 for me, Mike.
That's what I'm saying. Just put the dipstick in, right? And then if you're like, wipe it off and then put it back in to figure out, all right, where are we at right now? Where are we at?
Do that when you come from an era where MC Hammer said, too legit. Too legit.
Hey, man.
He started off there, but he was too legit to quit.
I'm just and that's the thing. I think that's the thing where a lot of guys don't pay attention in regards that you need to educate yourself how it is with women, not just the verbal jujitsu that you have to play around with women, but to be able to understand how you're not going to get caught up, how to limit that stuff up. If you know you're within that window, that 3-day window, and the girl goes, "Let it all in me, baby," you'll be like, "Hell no." Hell no!
You messing with the wrong chicks if this is even an issue.
No,
if you gotta do the viscosity test,
I did it. Hey, look. This is if you don't want to do the viscosity check, at least do the temperature. Figure that out. You know how easy it is to take a girl's temperature when she's in bed? It's like the little gun thing. Beep. Oh, I know how it is.
Hold on.
You can do it from across the room, and she won't even know that you took her temperature.
Mike, that's too much, man. That is too.
All right.
Much.
So, hold on. You in the mood. You in the mood. Wait.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. This ain't too much. Keep it coming.
Let me put the scenario out there.
Sure.
Put the scenario out there real quick. You just had an incredible steak dinner with your lady. You just got through feeding her chocolate covered strawberries. Both of y'all got that look of passion in your eye.
Okay.
You just got through making out on the sofa. You about to move it down to the bedroom. You grab her by the hand.
Yeah.
And you're raging. You're raging.
Got it.
In your loins. You feel it.
Yeah.
And you know it's ready.
Fire.
Yeah. You look at her. Yeah, you look at her.
Uh-huh.
And she got that rage in her too. And you know, you can sense it. You know, when you look at them and you look in the eyes and you see it and you know that it's ready and you know that she ready and y'all both ready. You say, hold on, baby. Let me check your temperature real quick.
No mucus.
I love it. Perfect.
Hold on.
And then answer this one.
Okay. Hold on, baby. Real quick. Let me go. You about. Nah, this is 3 days. This is day 3. Your viscosity is on 17 right now. And we can't do this. We can't do this. And I mean, that's a level of self-control that I don't think I have.
Okay.
Wait.
I give credit to you, Mike. If you was able if you was able to pull the dipstick out. If you was able to pull the dipstick out,
you know this is gonna be classic right here, right? This is classic right here. But
if you was able to pull it out and check the viscosity, I give you all the credit in the world, my brother.
Because I only know one dipstick.
So okay.
Go in.
Let's break it back. Number one is you have to take the temperature during the morning before she gets out of bed. That's when you take the temperature. This is. So that's
pregame. Pregame.
You have to be smart. This 43 years old. 43 years old. No children. And if you guys know my body count, I'm a hoe. All right? I'm a straight up hoe. I'm a hoe. Look. I'm sorry. I'm gonna admit it. When I'm in a relationship, she got me one-on-one. When the relationship ends, I'm like, where do I need to go? So okay, so temperature is in the daytime, but if you don't do the temperature, if you don't do the viscosity check, have you been paying attention to her cycle? You should know her cycle. It's an easy situation. If you know her cycle and you know that the woman is regular, then you know what the typical that 1 week that you have to make sure that you pay attention to. Now, you can do the every now and then when you're doing the morning nookie and stuff like that. You got to reach in. You got to reach in. You have to like hit the curb on top, hit the curb to the right, hit the curb to the left. All that stuff is going on. You're gonna you're gonna figure out the mucus that's going on, and then you just have to like look it up. She's probably being pleased, whatever. She's not paying attention, looking what you're doing. Remove your finger. Bam. Oh, I already know how it is. I'm good. Mark that in my freaking phone.
Hey, Mike. I think the reason why you're successful in 43 years of living, smashing, and not getting a woman pregnant is because every time you started this whole kit and process, a woman's ovaries was just like, what the hell is he doing, girl? Oh hell no. They just pulled back on you and they couldn't get pregnant, even if you did.
Listen, right?
Like,
when I was in OB, obstetrics and gynecology class in school, my eyes were wide open. I was like, "Oh, we learning about JJs right now? All right, let's tell me what's going on." Yeah, okay, got it. I'm like,
hey,
okay. Listen, just to like whatever. I had one mistake. I had gotten one girl pregnant, right? So, but it was my choice. I let it happen, meaning that I knew it was there. I thought that the relationship was there. I chose to let the boys out, right? I was like, release the Kraken.
What's going on here? What's going on here?
Go into the yard. Go, my children.
Yeah, so like this is no joke, right? This is no joke. Like I was like, crap. We in the 10-day period. Don't do this. But then I was like, but the love, the whatever. But here's the thing, right? And this is just where I'm at about this one. Is like, and that's why I'm even more passionate about the fact that this woman decided that she didn't want to keep the child. After we had the conversation that she wanted a child with me. And for this woman to all of a sudden, when she did the duties, when she did the deed to kill my child, she dares to come to me and ask for $500 to cover the cost. That's why I am passionate about making sure, because I know the time that I made a decision to actually let it go, it happened.
Yeah.
And this is the thing where a lot of men are not educated, because this is something that needs, like, I just did this education on my other channel just the other day, and some guys were like, what? Like, people don't understand, people don't know this exists. Now, it's 93% perfect. If you actually follow the regimen, you continuously do this stuff, it's 93% perfect. You're still going to mess up and stuff like that. But the thing, though, is if you want to play the long game of things, then there's 15 days out of the month that you as a man should literally put a condom on or pull out to minimize it, but pull out. How many people got good pull-out game? A lot of guys think they have it until they have a booty like this girl Carrie in front of them. Pull-out game is not there. But this is the thing where education of men needs to happen. Nobody taught these guys that. How many women out there actually know how to be able to check out their viscosities to be able to figure out when they're actually prime? How many of women out there understand the temperature taking on a daily basis to be able to understand that? How many women understand the regarding, being able to track your cycle? There's a lot of women that don't know that stuff. And who raised them? The women? Their mothers didn't teach them that? They didn't pay attention to school? They're women. They're supposed to know about themselves. Women, that's the thing. We expect so many guys to be able to have it's your responsibility to wear a condom. No. You opened your legs, woman. We both at fault here. We both have accountability at this situation. Just like, you know I have accountability for my child to have been killed because I messed up. No matter what, I'm not going to blame the woman for what happened to that child. It is my fault because I opened my freaking balls to be able to deliver stuff. I killed that child because I chose the wrong woman. This is how passionate I am for this stuff because I experienced a loss of a child. You know, that's the problem with that, is that, you know, in the end, women control access to the punani. Guys need to understand that it's such the power of the pussycat is really hard for guys. And we need to understand that power comes with great responsibility. And women sometimes don't choose the right man. That's the problem. All these women hating on guys. No, because you chose the wrong guy at first. Don't hate on me because your first guy before me was messed up, you know? But this you know, that girl with PJ, she knew the game. And she played it well. So bravo to her. You know?
If
Man,
any
Myk,
man,
I wasn't expecting that revelation from you, Myk.
You know the girl, man.
Oh, wow. Whoa, man, it's been a while. Man, you had to jog my memory for a second. You had to say, you know the girl for me to remember. God damn.
Starts with the letter X.
men, you have 100% chance of not getting a woman pregnant if you listen to Outkast and UGK's Players Anthem 100 times back to back.
What? Wait, John, you say it again. You said 100 times back to back?
You have to listen to it 100 times back to back, and you have a 100% chance of not getting a woman pregnant.
What happens at night if you only listen to 95? Is that a problem? You have to go once full 100?
You got to go full 100. Otherwise,
okay,
you just erase the whole probability of the 100% chance of not getting her pregnant.
Gotcha.
That's a Johnny Dangerous fact.
Facts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, that took a turn there. John, yeah, I know you got that. Mikey flipped it on us there for a second.
Man, you got serious, man. Thank
you. You guys got sex education as well. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, we got sex ed here. This is freshman year in high school here right now.
Hey, Myk, we appreciate you being so transparent, man, and sharing.
No problem, man.
That was deep, brother.
Yes, sir.
That was very deep. Only here on the Jump Off Live, as well as Myk's pages, where you get information like that, where you can learn. Women, men, if you didn't know what Myk shared with us tonight, prior to, you just been educated. You ain't gonna get that nowhere else. No other show will you get that, except for right here on the Jump Off Live. Remember that. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Man, I didn't realize how late this show's gotten here, man. We over here. It's 10:15 Central. We're going over 2 hours here, and I didn't know we were going this long here. We're gonna have to shut this down here in a few here. You know, people got to go to work. People got sleep to do. People got babies. You know, Wu-Tang for the babies. You know, we gotta, gotta do some things. So you gotta do some house cleaning.
Their viscosities.
Yeah, I've already finished up my yak. So we already, man, I need a refill. And I don't even drink anymore. So I should tell y'all how I get down. Man, we're gonna have to close this down here. We're getting late in the game here. Mikey just did a mic drop, literally on us here. I'm gonna go to JD here as we close things out here. I'm gonna ask a few questions here. So JD, as we round this for the night here, I want to give you give us final comments and thoughts on Dell Curry, Sonya Curry, PJ, and Brittany, and just in general from your JD-isms. What you got for us to close it out, man?
Oh man. You have to let love be your guide, but you can't be dumb while letting love be your guide. You can't allow love to blind you. But you can't become so cold and callous to it that you allow outside factors to control your relationship. I think divorce is something that can be beneficial for a couple. Like if you can decide that we don't need to be together, that's a very adult decision. And it can be a positive decision. The fallout of it, that's something totally different. I think if you get to the point where you realize that you don't need to be with a person, you don't need to be with that person. And I think that's a positive step towards self-awareness. If you can realize that, hey, this person ain't for me, I think that's great. Everything else, though, the fallout of it is when it gets nasty and when it gets ugly. You just have to be prepared for that. I know with my divorce, I tell people all the time, like I chose my happiness, and I dealt with a lot of tears and a lot of situation and days where I felt like I was making the wrong choice. I dealt with a lot of days where I felt immense guilt. I mean, guilt that I've never had in my life, that I was being selfish and that I was choosing this, that I was causing this divide between me and my ex-wife and me and my daughter, that I was the root cause of this problem because I was the one who wanted out. I'll tell you that you can get through it and you can get better on the other side of it. I don't think people should be quick to divorce. I think people should try their best to make it work. But if you get to that point where it's not working anymore, you can't be afraid to divorce. You can't be afraid to take that leap and choose your happiness over everything else. If you're a good person, the rest of it will fall in line and will end up being okay. It's not always going to be. I think a lot of times people go into marriage thinking that it's going to be one way and it turns out to be another way. I think people go in with the best of intentions and it turns into something that they weren't necessarily expecting. I know my second go around, I'm happy with where I'm at. I learned a lot in my past situation, and I'm a better man today because of going through that, because of understanding the things, the faults that I have. Understanding what I need to have in a partner, understanding what makes me tick and what makes me happy and what I need to seek out. And once I was able to find that, I found a level of happiness that I haven't had before. And it just takes a lot of self-actualization, man. You gotta dig deep. You got to dig deep, and you got to be willing to dig deep, and you have to be willing to understand that it's going to be a lot of, if you in any way care about yourself and care about the family that you would be either leaving or changing, it takes a lot. But if you truly have your happiness in mind and you're willing to put it all out there for your happiness, I think that, and you realize that the relationship that you're in isn't producing that happiness for you, you need to do what you need to do and get a divorce, and take on the responsibilities that come along with getting that divorce.
Profound thoughts from JD there. Thank you for that information there. Before I go to John and Mike, Farsight, you don't have to worry about being denied a patent for sperm off switch. It's called a vasectomy, bro. You ain't got to worry about that. Just go ahead and get snipped. 3 years strong, shooting blanks. Don't got to worry about it. Matter of fact, before I go to you, John and Mike, to close out here, that should be the closing statement for NBA players. Just go ahead and get your vasectomy. Get the Michael Jordan one. That's what I got. You can get it reversed, baby. You know, hey, get it tied up. You good? Shooting blanks. You ready to go back again for some more shorties? Go back in there. Put it back together. Boom. Mike popped twins out as soon as he got his stuff unpopped with his new wife. So it works. And he was 50 plus years old. So you know what, though? Ultimate birth control. Snip, fellas. You go raw dog for years. You don't got to worry about it. All right. John, what you got for me, man?
Wow, man. So what I have is very simple. What I gather from all of this, to include my input, is that wisdom is learning from the experiences of others. But if you decide to walk up those crates, you better be prepared to hit every single one on the way down. If you have somebody that loves you, he or she will help you get back up and heal those wounds from the inside out. Mike.
Bars. Thanks, John.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Thanks. Myk, any closing words for tonight?
My thing is that a lot of men should, just you have to listen to your happiness, what makes you a person. The thing though is there's a point where sometimes you have to call it quits. I completely agree with what was said earlier. You have to look into your happiness. And the reason why sometimes, when something's not right, sometimes you have to let the woman go. You have to call it. And learning from people's mistakes is an important thing, and so the thing though is if somebody gets a jump on you, you lost. And that's what a lot of these women have done when they file for divorce before the man even knows. Then right there alone, they got the jump on you and stuff like that. So my thing is that pay attention to yourself. If you're not happy, the thing though is you need to first of all have discussions, have dialogue. Love is important in a relationship, on any relationship. But the question is, what kind of love do you have with that woman? Is it a friendly love? Is it agape love? Those are two different things. And so you have to figure where it is, and you have to know what defines the love that you have with the woman. And so, but in the end, it's about communications. The moment that there's no communication in the household anymore, then you have to understand where you need to take it. And I think a lot of people need to take it to therapy. Whether, like I said earlier on today, that you go to therapy with a spouse that you're having problems with, there's a 40% chance that it'll work, 60% that it won't. But shouldn't you hopefully take that 60% chance and pay attention to the vows that you guys actually created, the vows that you made, how you be able to promise to each other to, if you jump into the relationship. I'm not going to say anything bad to guys who decide that they're done. They don't want to get into relationships. They don't want to get married. More power to you. You have every right for that. But for the guys that actually want a relationship, want to be in a marriage, if you have that, some guys have never even read their vows till they got into church. When you're about to marry a woman, when you see a woman and she's the woman you want to be with, this is the girl for you. Before you can even ask her to marry you, before you can even go out there and buy a ring, pick up that 2-minute read. That 2-minute read about your vows. And tell me if you are willing to commit to that woman with those vows. Don't wait till the day of the church to be able to repeat it, what the pastor says. Because if you understand this, by the time that you finish reading your vows in church, there's already been 9 people that got divorced at that time. That's how valuable time is. So look, if this person is what you want to marry, look at the vows. If you can't do that for her, do something right by not even asking her to marry you. Do the right thing as a man, in my opinion.
Thanks, Myk. Wow. Appreciate that there. Man, we're coming close to 10:30 Central Time here, so I'll say my little thing and we can get on out of here. I ain't got much. Y'all drop gems on me tonight. I don't know how I'm going to close out of here. All I'm going to say is, man, just thanks for everybody for chiming in to the show. We're here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Wednesday nights, Jump Off Live. You know how we do this here. What we want to do is make sure you guys click on like and subscribe, hit that bell notification. We need that HBO special. Help a brother out. We trying to get this YouTube algorithm going. We see a few more subscribers coming on here. We trying to get this thing going here. And also want to do too for the ladies who want to be part of the show. Y'all chatting here. But if y'all want to cam up, we'll send you the link. You can go ahead and get in on this conversation. This is a men's show, but we do welcome the women. Like I said, Dr. Zoe's not here this week. We'll hope she'll be back next week, of everything that's going on. Speaking of Dr. Zoe here, I just want to say this again. If y'all ain't going to get a shot, wear y'all mask, okay? We have Mikey's a medical professional and Dr. Zoe's medical professional. And I would just say this from her. She is going through it right now because she is literally seeing people die right now from this COVID. She literally told me before I came out here because she couldn't do the show, the people in the ICU are not coming home. These are facts, people. Everybody wants to think that they know their own homework and they know their own research and they're better than the professionals and they know better than the professionals. I say this: if you got a Toyota, you're not taking your car to Ford. I own a BMW. I'm not taking my car to Mercedes-Benz. So when you're sick, you listen to the professionals and the doctors. If they tell you to do something, listen to them. Because you know what happens when you get sick? And now you're going to them, and now the ICUs and beds are overwhelmed. So that's just my service announcement. If y'all ain't going to get the jab, at least rock the damn mask. All right? It's not about you. It's about all of us. So on that note here, that's my little PSA, public service announcement here. We're going to close out. It's been a late night here for Jump Off Live. I got my man JD below me here. I got my man John next to me here. I got Myk E from Mike's Integrated Network. And I know Jeff is in the chat here. Wasn't kicking with us tonight, but he's in the chat here. I am that dude named Dave. We'll be back next week for more commentary, more fun, more laughs, and more interesting dialect from Jump Off Live. So on that note, we are gone. Peace out, everybody.